Welcome back to She Talks, We Listen. I'm your host, Trey Five, and tonight we're diving into relationships, the lessons, the flags, and yes, everything in between. Ladies, relationships teach us a lot, and sometimes the best lessons come from those tough lived experiences. So, the first question tonight is going to be, what lesson have we learned that approach us, help approach love in the future? Episode 2 of She Talk, We Listen, where we give the ladies a platform. And this episode is about relationships, man. The love, the lessons, and all of the flags and the things that's in between. So, before we even start, I'm going to let y'all see my beautiful panel of all my ladies, man. So, when we go to the ladies, I want to know from y'all ladies, what is a lesson that you learn in your relationships of dating that taught you on how you move and you approach love from here on out?
Okay. So okay, I've had maybe 2 relationships before I got married. I'm very young, sorry. I know. But I didn't start dating or even being intimate with a person until I was about 21. What I realized was I have to have love for myself before anything. I was in a kind of abusive relationship where I wasn't sure if I was, not doing something right or wrong. I just knew that this was not what I wanted. And I thought it was at first. It wasn't. Initially, what changed my mindset was my mother in law. She was like, a relationship takes 2 people to come together as one. So you're taking 2 different personalities, right? At this point, it's like a experiment here. Here's your one bottle. Here's your other bottle. Let's pour them together, see if they mix, right? And at first, me and my husband did not mix at all. I was like, I don't know what the heck. No. But I also realized that I have to get out of my mind. It's not just what I want, it's what he wants, it's what he needs, it's what our family needs, or our future family. Because I always went into a relationship like, oh, this is my future husband, my future father's kids. You know, I'm going to build something with him. I'm not just out here doing because, I don't know, maybe me, whatever. But it kind of like taught me how to take other people's opinions and navigate it into not necessarily what I wanted, but what I needed at that time, if that makes sense.
Number one, to just stay true to there's two, to stay true to yourself, meaning like not letting circumstance, situation, emotions to have you to act other than yourself. Because then it'll cause problems that is unnecessary. It will cause a lot of rifts. But that was the first thing. And then number two, to don't fall in love with potential, fall in love with reality. Like, I feel like another thing I notice is that like sometimes we have a vision or ideal or even a goal that we want to set out for ourselves, but the reality is some reach their goals, not everyone does. So the potential is not something that you should be falling in love with. You should fall in love with reality and push towards a greater future together. So those are like 2 things that I have learned recently within the realms of relationships.
I would like to agree with what I've heard some ladies say so far. when I would say have self respect, be yourself. Um, it's something that I learned. If you have boundaries or standards for yourself, keep those um, because you're worth it. Um, I think a lesson I also learned is to bring in guidance or to actually seek more of a vetting process from people who know me, who I love, and who I trust. Because sometimes, while women feel a lot of things, sometimes we're not always in reality about the people that are in front of us. And sometimes, I mean, plenty of times I've had my elders that I trust, that I love, that I respect, that saw something that I didn't see. And I thought, oh, they're tripping. They don't know what they're talking about. And then it turns out they knew exactly what they were talking about. And also, I would say that for any future relationship, if the man is not family oriented for himself and for myself, if he's not speaking about future goals of his family or having a role for me there, that I'm really just uninterested. And to honestly maintain my family principles, um, maintain the goals that I have moving forward for myself, my family, and a relationship, and not to try to force things that aren't there because I don't even know why I'm doing it. So I land my mic.
I say the most important thing is loving yourself. Then another thing is don't go off of looks. Like really get to know a person. Don't rush anything. And I say just don't move too fast. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, but that's it.
Okay, well, the queens already pretty much said it, but yeah, basically know your worth and know that the mouth will say anything, but behavior never lies. So they'll say all that you want to hear, but if they ain't doing it, then the mouth, don't mean nothing unless it's on my vagina. But that's another word. Um, um, yeah. So basically, the queens have already spoken. I don't have much to add to that.
Like a lot of walls being put up or allowed to, but like I haven't heard too many of like what y'all learn to do with yourselves or for yourselves that doesn't involve that person before you approach that love. I would love to hear that. Not saying I didn't hear it, I'm just saying for the folks. It was a lot of, man, don't pay attention to how that nigga look or what he got, or it was a lot of what the man got going on and what, noticing the red flags. But I would also like to hear any of you ladies that want to say any of fixing any red flags y'all got.
Okay. So I just want to basically just go further on what I was already saying. With all of my advice, anything that I say, like that's just moving forward. I always intake that for myself first. It's something that I have acknowledged for myself. I never expect more from people than I expect for myself. So that was a basis that I have for myself. I don't want no one else to fall in love with me off of a potential, because I have experienced that, someone having a vision of what they wanted for me and me not aligning to that vision and them being frustrated when they should have just accepted me for me and then, wanting to grow through it. So I feel like anything else I would add, it would just be another thing again that would be for the other person and then again in turn for me. But yeah, I'm not trying to bash nobody. That's word from Z, and then for anybody else that's like a part of me.
Okay, so listen, I had to do a lot of self reflecting. Okay, when I say a lot, I mean I probably took about 3 years from my past before I met my husband, and during that reflection, I had to realize that like I'm an Aries. If anybody any knows, we were feisty, and I don't take no ish. So when somebody comes to me with something different than I don't want, I'm like, no. And I'm fighting it tooth and nail. But what I was saying with the advice was I had to learn that it's not just me, right? So I had to calm myself down a little bit, just a little bit. I'm still very feisty, but I had to calm myself down and I had to see that it's not just me. This man also is an individual, but I still didn't like it. Because, I mean, it took us, we got married, and then it took us a year and a half to get to where we're at a good pace, where we're like, okay, yeah, this is okay. I could do this, you know. It's a give and take type of thing. And I was just taking and taking and taking at that point. I was very narcissistic. Sorry, I was. But I had to learn a little bit different from me. And I had to pray. I had to talk to him. I had to actually open my voice and communicate with him and say, these are the things I don't like. And he had to say those things also. And I had to take it. Like, I literally had to take it. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. But I was.
Yeah, I just say just really get time to really like don't rush into another relationship. Just really get a chance to really like know your worth and work on you and grow and stuff like that, and what you can do better on your side. So just work on you and don't rush into something else, I feel like. Yeah.
I agree with her. Like I really had to check myself and not rush, or like one of the other queens has said, not go off looks or things like that. Like really get to know that person. Sometimes because a lot of what I liked on the look wasn't good on the other side. Like they weren't worth shit. That's all they had was their looks. And once that's gone, it's yeah. They was about a penny looking like a dime. So yeah, and I had to check myself. So I agree with what all the queens have already said.
All right. Y'all dropping some real wisdom tonight, man. I ain't gonna lie. Relationships definitely could be messy, but those lessons definitely shape us in ways that make us better for our next chapter.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
All right, it's time for Pink Flags. This is where we break down real life relationship scenarios and y'all decide if it's a pink flag or if it's a red flag, right? Pink flag is yes, it's acceptable. I could deal with that. Red flag is hard no, pass. These situations might hit close to home, so keep it real, keep it honest, and let's have some fun with it. Your partner keeps their phone locked up and gets defensive when you ask about it.
I could say both. It's a red flag because he got defensive, like he hiding something. Then it's a pink flag because he probably respect his privacy. Because if the tables would turn, you don't want your privacy. So I say both.
Yeah, that's giving a red flag. Red flag. Because I did understand what Ron was saying, but I feel like that should be communicated. So if it's communicated, it's a pink flag. But if it's not communicated, a solid red for me.
I'm gonna go with Queen Z. Like yeah, it's red or pink. If y'all already know what it is, then yeah, like it's nothing. Like I in my situations when you come into my world, I don't have no problem if you saying my phone or I'm honest. Like I don't care if you gonna fuck with me or you not. But like I would say if it's off some you off some geeking ass sneaky ass all on my back ass shit, like no, we grown. If you can't, if I didn't give you a reason to even want to do that and you just off that type of shit in general, like no, it'll be red. But like she said, if we have an understanding or we just open, then it's nothing.
I got that it's a red. It's always a red. If I don't even know you yet and you're private about this sort of thing, it's odd to me. What do you work for the CIA? Like what's going on here? It's absolutely red. If we're in a relationship and you hiding your phone If we're in a relationship and you need to be like face down with the phone, that's a no for me. That's a no for me because that means that there's something that's going to come across the screen. Like if your phone were to just be, that's just a no for me. That's a serious red. If the phone can't just be up and it's a secret what name or what messages are coming across this here, that means you're doing something that you feel is inappropriate for me to see or it's inappropriate for you to be doing and you don't know when it's going to happen. That's my assumption because I don't have that level. And this could be a selfish perspective because I don't have people calling my phone that can't call my phone. And I don't have things going on my phone that can't be going on my phone. So if that's where you at, it's a red for me. And if you can't be open, if you don't have transparency, or if that's not what you're able to do at this time of your life, that's totally fine. If you can't be transparent, that's fine also, but it's a red for me. That's a red for me.
All right, y'all. I'm married. My husband is like, I don't know, conscious did not hit him when it comes to the phone. And he's not like private with his phone or anything, but sometimes he just be like, you don't need to see it. And I'm like, no, I need to see it. So it is a red flag for me. If I can't see your phone, if I don't have access to your phone, like, why are we being defensive? It's a phone. And maybe because we grew up in an era where we didn't have phones and we weren't like, oh, this is my own personal thing, super secretive. But no, it's a red flag.
Now, real quick, just to flip it on the ladies one time. Is it a red or a pink flag if he's asking you the same thing? For the ones that didn't answer that question.
I guess I'll go first. It's the same, like I said before. It applies to me too, like because I understand. Like I've a lot. My last relationships have been with people who are very busy. They're entrepreneurs, self-employed, so their phone is always going off of so much random stuff. So like initially, I didn't have a sense of understanding as to why certain things, but the communication cleared it up to me. So that's where like the pink flag came for me. But again, like I said before, like it applies to me too. So like if he feels like he wants to ask me to see my phone for whatever reason, um, if we have already communicated or feels a way, well, what was the question again? Because I don't even think I answered that for him that way.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel like
asking
I
deeper for
mean,
me.
I mean, you ain't gotta be consistent. We know double standards
Okay,
exist.
but
You
yeah, I
know,
just feel like I should be able to be able to, share my phone as well, unless it's been like otherwise discussed, like, oh no, like it's privacy or something like that.
so we
But
all
I
we
just feel
all on
like
the
you should
panel is
be
willing to
able
share our
to.
phones.
Yeah, I feel like you should be able to, if you should expect something, you should be able to do it. So, like, I just feel like on those terms, yeah, like it's easy for me. And then, like the other queens have mentioned, like, I don't have nothing to worry about or nothing to hide. I'm very open about it. So, like, and I do business myself. So, like, if my phone is going off and he feels a way about it, look, this is just business and let's carry on. And boom. So,
All
yeah.
right. I like that, ladies. Okay. So your partners say they not ready for a title after a year of dating. Is that a red flag or a year ain't that long? So that's cool. That's a pink flag.
That is a red flag, okay? Because I am not dating somebody for over 4 months and you're not thinking about proposing or no, absolutely not. I did it before. Will never ever, and I mean ever, do that again. Because we're too old at this point. I mean, yeah, when we're young, I would say less than 21. If I'm over 21, ma'am, sir, what we doing? That is a red flag. You don't want to be married. You're not ready for it. You're not ready for a commitment. I am committed to what I'm giving to you. You need to be committed to what you're giving to me. And you're saying you're not. No. That's it.
It depends on the situation. I agree with the queen prior to me, but for me, it really it depends. If I'm not ready, if that's what I'm I don't even know how to really answer this one. Like I really don't, because I'm the type. It's per person or per situation, I guess, in a sense. If I'm in that, that's what I'm going after, or I'm out in the field looking for something that's, long lasting, then, cool. I would be jive upset if it went past a year, because especially if I'm into that person, absolutely. But if I'm dating and I'm just dating and I'm out here, and I haven't anything hasn't really caught my interest, and maybe something semi has, like, yeah, I've been dating them over a year, but I'm just in a dating field, so I'm dating them, I'm dating somebody else, I'm going on dates, I'm saying what I'm looking for, then no, I wouldn't be mad at dating someone for over a year. So that's why I didn't really know how to answer it. But if it's something that I really am looking for, some long lasting, and I'm really into that person, and they gave me that vibe that they were into me that way, and it's gone longer than a year, then yeah, I'd be upset.
A year is a long time for someone not to title anything, and I mean anything. You wouldn't wait a year to title your car. You wouldn't wait a year to decide where you're going to live if you didn't have somewhere to go. You wouldn't wait a year to make these types of claims on what something is for yourself. And so to me, a year is a long time. That's a long time to waste on somebody that's kind of just playing around. Like, what's going on with this dating? Like, what's happening? I get that dating is fun and I'm here for that. I got that. Like, oh, we're going out, we're kicking it, it's cool. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. But a year is a red flag. That's a red flag. Out of a man, that's a red flag. For myself, that's a red flag. I'm flagging myself red if a year you haven't defined what's going on and we're hanging out, we're meeting friends, we're possibly doing things together. This is a long 12 months. 12 months. You could get a lot done in 12 months. And if you are not able to know who somebody is in 12 months, then either you enjoy wasting your own time or you enjoy wasting other people's time. And time is clearly money, whether you're 20 or whether you're 80. Time equals money. So for someone to be playing around for a year, especially is this person that's waiting a year that doesn't want to give a title, are they ambitious? Are they making things happen within this year? Or are they floating along in life too? Because if this is a guy that's just like, oh, he doesn't have anything and he's not doing much, and then he decides when it comes to you, not much is going on and he's cool with no title, yeah, that makes sense. But if you're dating a guy or a man who has some level of ambition, some sort of plan for himself, plan for his money, to me it's unacceptable that he would therefore look at a woman that he's potentially interested in. It sounds to me like he's uninterested. If he can go a year without saying, hey, I need this person somewhere in my life, that sounds like a big fat red flag and that he is uninterested. And I am uninterested in people who are not interested in me. I land my mic.
I agree with the ladies. It's a red flag, and I feel like you should know what you want already, and like you shouldn't invest that much time in somebody if you're not really trying to how you say it, pursue them. So it's a red flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag. I was going off. I was so excited. Me hit the nail on the hammer. And I was like, Carrie, we are too grown for anything less. But she hit it right, spot on. I agree. I agree. It's a red flag for all those reasons.
Okay, so I still agree it's a red flag. However, if even if he doesn't propose within that year, if he has plans to do so, that's different. Just wanted to throw that out there.
And it's definitely she talks. You listen, people will definitely get on my ass when I get y'all pushed back. But I definitely heard 4 months. If we ain't talking about marriage, I don't want them.
I mean, that's what 369 to 120 days. You're saying you have talked to me, you have been with me for 120 days, and you're saying you're not sure if this is the one?
And then I
What
heard
we doing?
you don't wait a year for your car, for your this, for your that.
No, because my car is instant. My bills are instant. Everything that I need in my life is instant.
Now,
Okay.
ladies, would I ask y'all, what would be the scale of your partner, the choosing of your partner? What would be the scale of the value of that? If you had the top 5 things in your life, choices that you got to make from here into the day you die, what number would you put choosing your partner?
That's number two. Okay. No, actually, that's number one because I have kids with my partner who is now going to live out my legacy. No, that's number one.
Is that universal for everybody? Number one, two, three.
I'm going to speak for myself. It's number one. And I'm not going to lie. I want to be honest. It wasn't always number one to me because the society was making me feel like, as a woman, oh, just go do these things and you're cool on your own and you can come get this guy later and this, that, and the third. But literally, the man that you choose or your mate that you choose is how you're building your wealth for your family. This is who, like the young lady said, who's raising your children. This has everything to do with your family. And we're always talking about family over everything. How is it family over everything and you haven't chosen a man to start the family with? We're not even being good parents because we haven't decided on who the man is that's going to be their daddy. And getting a written statement from this man and say, hey, I'm going to try to be this family with you from here until whenever. So then it gets super expensive because you ain't got no man. Life gets very expensive without a man. So I ain't gonna lie, he number one. I am a built-in support system for him. He is a built-in support system for me. This affects everything. It affects your business. It affects your money. It affects your mental health. It affects your emotional health. And all these things are intermingled. You're getting into debt, but you're getting into debt before you even know what type of spouse you're gonna have. So now you're coming into a situation. I'm sorry, it's number one. It's just number one. And I think this is the life hack that they forget to tell Black women. Your husband, and even Black men, your husband and your wife, that is your cheat code to getting money. How long do you want to put off making money? I don't know. Pause. I'm muting my mic. It's number one for me. Is the point of the story.
How about you, Ron Z, Miss Common?
I agree. But like for starters, I always put God first because I have always been a woman who put my man as my priority. So that has always been a thing for me. But as I've went through failed relationships, I realized that I was putting God second. And like I also realized as a specifically as a Black woman, the way that we're able to lead, not in the way that a man is, but in the way of our words and our wisdom and our understanding. We get that from our own self understanding, but also from God as well. So prioritizing that and making that shift towards the end of my last relationship, it like made a big shift. Even though I wasn't supposed to be in that relationship, just making that shift made a major change because even the way he responded, the way he listened to me, the way we're able to work together even better. So yeah, that's the only thing I would add to chime in, but I agree. Like that should be like first and foremost. If you put anything else before that, like what are you doing? Where are you trying to be at for real?
How about you, Ron? You got a number? Because I'm just curious though, because I love to hear that it's number one, two. It's at a very high number. But I'm curious that of course I know all y'all like 20 years young. Of course I know that. But I know y'all already been adults for a certain amount of times, and I'm just thinking about the average number of years that y'all been adults versus 12 months and how important that decision is to y'all. Why would it only take 12 months for you to be able to make that decision? That's all I'm asking. I don't know. I'm just like 12 months could be enough time, but I'm just saying for one of the greatest decisions in your life, it only takes 12 months to, know if you want to bear children with them, get married with them. I don't know. I just think that's cause for conversation.
I agree with you, Trey. Like that's a major decision to make in a year, and so that's why I'm very slow with something like that and wouldn't put 12 months on it because I, I gotta really get to know you. Every young lady that I've come across for the most part that has made that type of decision that fast, their long lasting relationships didn't last that long. And I feel like because they didn't really get to know that person, they went off of the little bit that they thought they knew and jump right into it. And so I can go more than a year. I prefer more than a year. I hate when they rush me like, oh, shorty, you ain't trying to be with me. You ain't like, no, like calm down, calm your balls down. Okay. It's all right. I ain't going nowhere. You see me every day. We together. It's all right. You can see my phone. It's over there. You can answer it. Like we good. So I agree. I don't think I'll know somebody that's 30. I'm 43. So I don't think I'll know 43 years of a person in 1 year. I really need to know them. They've gone through some things, and I want to know what that's about. And so I can't just jump over the broom in 12 months.
Come on, rebuttal, ladies. She said it for me. Thank you.
Okay, so my thing is, and I base it off my grandparents' marriage. They've been married for 43 years, right? So they met when they were teenagers. They married when they were only 19 years old, right? So my thing is you're growing and learning with that person. So no matter how many years you continue to learn and grow with that person. But that's where the hard part comes in. That's where marriage comes in. Not the paper, not government, not any of that. But that's where the hard work comes in. You're learning with your partner. You're learning with another individual who is an individual. He had, how old are you? Like, you're
Charlie, I hate to cut you off, and you know I love you. But I know those people. So
I
I wish
know.
you was talking about people that I did not know, that wasn't my family, that I did not love, but they are the exception to the rule. You can't act like everybody is them.
No, even with Nana and Papa, because you know them,
They are the
even
exception to the rule, though.
exception to the rule because they are insane. They are crazy. They fight, they yell, they do all of that. But they continue to grow. And that's where my belief came in and where I was like, I can do this. I can do this with knowing somebody. I only know my husband for 3 months before we married. We're 4 years strong.
90 days?
Seriously. And he made
Wow. Hey,
proposed.
okay, you a testimony.
So that's what I was saying. So and I base it off of what I went through. This is it. So yeah, I think it is possible. No matter, I think we have to get out of our own way. Honestly, at the end of every day, we have to get out of your own way and meet somebody where they are, and grow from there. I'm done.
Z, you had a rebuttal. I see you.
Yeah, I did. So, like, basically, like, I just feel like just taking it back to older times, like, I'm glad she referenced grandparents. Like, that's always what I like to go off of. Like, really anything going on in these day and age, even our parents, we can't base things off of them. We really got to go back to generations we either heard about or barely got a glimpse of. For real. Like, we have to go back to their understanding. And what did they have? They had morals, they had integrity, they had character, they had a lot of stuff that they set as staples. They did not care about how people looked and stuff, because a lot of times people really did look low down a little bit, a little out of shape and stuff. So you really had to go off of things like that to get to know some people. I had told my mom, like, I was just going off for a while, like I was just mad, like I was like, I wish I looked like a toad, and she was like, stop saying that, stop saying that. Then she was like, finally asked me, like, well, why do you say that? I was like, I wish that, like, I would look different so people would just get to know me. Like, they automatically assume that what I look like should match my personality, and it weirds me off, because I'm like, what if I was somebody different? Even though you are right, I don't ever say that, but they are right about those things. But it's like, what if it's not? And it's just like, it's because they don't have those morals and those values and integrity and the character that they're bridging it off of. And I feel like also when you have those staples, that's something that you can't hide. Like, somebody can't hide having morals. Somebody can't hide and having character and integrity, especially within 30 days, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, damn, a year. Like you said, 12 months. It gets to 12 months and this person is still having morals, characters, integrity. Yeah, right. You're gonna see right through that. So I feel like you should be able to speak up and be able to say, this is what I like, where it's going, and I want to proceed, and take steps. Like, it don't even have to be we getting married tomorrow. Get engaged. Take your time from there. That's a whole nother step. Let's get comfortable with this. Then start planning stuff. Like, let's see how we go with planning and stuff. Planning, getting the ideas accumulating. Oh, I like how she's doing this. You know what? Let me get this ring for her and actually propose and be ready for marriage. So I just feel like we just got to take it back and not base it off of the stuff that we see going on now and the stuff that's been accepted, and take it back to that old time religion.
Hold on, I want to get Rawan's point of view, because she does know our grandparents and she has been in a relationship for a while. So let me get your point of view, ma'am.
I mean, every relationship I feel like it's different, and everybody got their own journey. So I don't know, like, I feel like you shouldn't rush nothing, and you shouldn't go off because what people want you to go off or what people want for you. And I just feel like you gotta do what's best for y'all, and y'all the only ones, because y'all in the relationship. But I also feel like it's up to we females or what we accept. You know what I'm saying? So it's on us at the end of the day. I feel like, for real. But I feel like we shouldn't rush no man. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't really speak on it like that. So I don't know. You just got to pray on it, and I just feel like y'all both got to want the same thing. If y'all both don't want the same thing, then what's the point of being in a relationship, for real? If y'all goals is not the same. So that's why, like, it's up to us females, for real, because it's like we do this, we like lay out the standards and stuff like that, what we want, and we that's why we should know our worth, and it's important for us to know our worth. So
Okay.
And let me say this before you move on. Men
Church.
do not fully become grown men until they're 40 years old. So we are laying the foundation for them.
yeah,
Sorry, I love you, but
yeah.
just statistics.
Hey, she talks, we listen, guys.
Mhm.
So your partner in the relationship, through y'all healing, your arguments, through y'all situation, they constantly compare y'all relationship to their last relationship. Is that a red flag, or is what they recently been through, so that's a pink flag?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with lavender because it was very case by case for me. But I say more red than pink.
I didn't. Okay, so I feel like it really just depends on what you're willing to deal with. Because, like, when you're referencing another relationship or anything in the past, it's because something you haven't, like, healed past, moved past, or just got a full understanding to evolve through. So, like, if it's still being referenced, it's something that still needs to be grown through. So, do you want to grow with them through that or not? For me personally, it just depends on, like, what portion of it is, like, being referenced, that it depends on. So I don't have a response, because it really just depends on the situation as to if it would be a pink flag or a red flag for me.
I say it's a red flag, because that's why I say it's so important for us to, like, don't rush into another relationship and just heal. So it's a red flag because it's some like you have to work on yourself so you won't keep running into the same person or the same type of relationship.
My husband tried me, y'all. Maybe 6 months into our marriage. Yeah, about 6 months into our marriage, he kind of like compared me to his ex, and I was like, I threw his PlayStation 5 down the steps, broke it all up. So I say that all to say, it does take reflection, right? It does. That was my hothead stage. But he was already going through something and I triggered it for him. But communication part of it, now we can communicate better. Like, hey, this is something you do that triggers me. This is something I do that triggers you. So it is a red flag. Don't compare me to somebody else. Don't call me a liar. Don't do any of that, right? I'm feisty. But that's it.
I'm gonna play some funeral music for you, bro. She broke the PS5. Just 10 seconds of silence for all the brothers that tune into this for that PS5.
Crimson, rouge, rose. That's a red flag. You're comparing me to another woman. Are we in a menage right now? I'm trying to figure out who else is in our relationship. Can I bring new men into our relationship? Can I compare you to another man? Would your testosterone enjoy that? So I'm not sure why I'm listening to this other person in our relationship. I'm not sure why you're bringing up her name. If you're not over her, I think you need to probably go back. You need to work. You need to work through that. You need to be patient with yourself. And I'll be plenty patient with you. While you do you, I'm gonna go and worry about someone who's worried about me. Because you're worried about somebody that's not here, that's not relevant. If you compare me to this person, you're completely disrespectful. You're completely disrespectful. If you need a safe space for that type of conversation, I'm going to highly advise you seek professional help because I'm not the therapist for your last breakup. That's not me. Mm-mm. I'm open, honest, loving, forgiving, accepting of so many things. But you want me to nurse you through a relationship while you compare me to this person that I don't know. You want me to accept that. I think not only is that highly disrespectful, if I have to tolerate that, that means that I'm lacking a level of self-respect as well. Because I wouldn't dare open my mouth and start comparing men to other men. I wouldn't even compare, even if I'm looking at a man that's I'm thinking that's better or stronger, I would never say it out my mouth out of pure respect. So you have a lack of respect if you think that your verbal mouth is comparing me to another woman, bringing this woman into our conversation, into our home, into our life. Mm-mm. No, that's red. No, that's 100% red. I'm muting my mic.
Anybody want to take it to the floor and elaborate, or pretty much everybody agreed on that one?
I mean, I love Meek's example, ma'am, because like true disrespect, you gotta know yourself.
Yeah, you just flashed out. I ain't gonna hold you.
Because I mean,
And then you broke the nigga plate. I was like, that man. I got, hey fellas,
but
don't
disrespect is
heal
normal.
in the conversation that way, guys. No references to your past situations or your past relationships or your past women. If any women in the past even did anything you like, don't even tell your present woman. They ain't even trying to hear it.
Hold on. I think you can, but don't put a name on it. You have to be verbally persuasive. If she did something like, washed her back or, it was a pedicure, you need to just say, you know what? I really think I might enjoy if you, but don't you dare tell me that Keish did it. I don't care about what Tanya did. Tanya is faceless now. She an avatar now. She's over now. If you want me to do what she's doing, it's not a problem that I do what they're doing. I have no issue with that. But when you start bringing up her name as a roll call and a roster, What you want me to call her? I should call her now. That's all I'm saying.
But what if the inquiries come? What if it's how you know about this scent candle? How you know about this face scrub? How you know you want this rub, grab, whatever, this type of way?
No,
what is he supposed to say?
Don't tell me her name. I had it in the past.
So just say, I don't know. It just sounds like it's something I want. I just seen it in a flyer.
Or my man told me.
Your man told you about Olay face wash and shit and body scrubs. Oh, yeah, that's a little more than your man, B. Me and the guys, we share colognes and we don't. I don't know, but oil use, but I don't know if I ever got in a conversation with the guys we was talking about face scrubs and body washes and shit.
No,
now you know how they be in the barbershop. They in the barbershop and they talk about what their girls be doing and shit. So I'm talking about like
that's a great example. That's a great example where that conversation come into play. Okay, beard oils and shit. Okay, okay. But what about physical things? Where niggas learn that at? They just doing shit to themselves.
You better not tell me nothing.
It's $1.25. I
don't care. Pass or not. Don't tell me, boy.
So
no woman really want to be with a virgin. So she's gonna know that you're coming with experience because you've been with women. That's fine. Just figure out how to put this conversation without a face is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No, if you're out here, nobody likes some tender, pure guy. Oh my God, that's not really the case for women to men. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some women like virgins and tender guys. That might be for them. I haven't experienced or met any of those women. So he's going to come with a certain level of experience anyway. If he's saying, yo, I like this and this happened, that's between you and your man. That's a private conversation. But don't tell me that Lexi did it. That's all I'm saying. Don't tell me, oh, I like the way Lexi pulled her hair up in a ponytail before. Don't tell me none of that. Okay? Don't do none of that. Put my hair in a ponytail and then just say I like when you do this. Don't be, you know what I mean? Figure this out. Figure out how to get what you want with the least amount of resistance. That's all I'm saying.
Sound like a lot of mental gymnastics to me, but I mean,
do you want what you want or you don't want it?
But that's
you
why
want to fight.
Men don't fully mature into their 40s to get to that man fight. Like that mindset part. Here.
But so the man is not mature because he can't go through the mental gymnastics of being able to tell you what he like and why he like it based off the experiences he been through.
Absolutely.
Because you can't handle who he experienced.
Like.
Because you can't handle who he experienced it with or where he learned it from. And he's immature for that.
Excuse me, I have a question.
I'm just asking. I'm asking the question. I mean,
I hear your question.
I'll answer yours first. I'll answer yours first, though.
You know what? It might be a level of maturity. I'm going to answer yours. Absolutely, it might be. Because if you don't understand that I've never been able to tell a man respectfully what another man does for me and that be acceptable. Now, if men enjoy being compared to other men, then I could see a man trying to compare me to another woman.
If it in contrast,
yes, please.
Not to cut you off, because you made this point, and I thought it was a great point. And I can't speak for women, but I'll speak for my example of conversation. I've been doing conversation with my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I'll speak for my example of conversation that women like experienced men. When it comes to physical things and like y'all, now I can't speak for all. I can't speak for the exceptions. I'm just going to speak for how the same people you spoke for when you made the statement. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of women like their man to be experienced. Now, if I speak for the guys on our experience and a lot of guys that I talk to, the guys don't really want their women to be experienced. But what guys do want is when he is trying to tell you this is what you should do and this is what I want you to do, a lot of men want the woman to exercise that and be willing to do it. So yes, of course I want you because you never done these things before, right? But yes, when I tell you to do them for me, I want you to try and practice until you get it. So I know it sounds like, hey, you want a girl that's innocent, but then you get mad at her because she don't know what she doing. Yeah, but when the nigga is telling you what to do, we expecting that woman with a not a lot of experience to be willing to learn. That's why a lot of the women's with low experience, just speaking for the men, because women act like they swear to God they don't know why niggas cheat. If you are a wholesome lady, right, and you have low experience and your man is trying to express to you, but he can't say Lexi and Brittany. He can't say, look, babe, we done this shit like 7 times, but I'm telling you, that shit Lexi used to do is, man, I'm like, I still think about this to this day. And you know, this bitch just follow me on Instagram. He can't tell that to you. He can't, because you're going to feel some type of way. You're not going to be like, you know what, you is my man and I love you. Fuck Lexi. I'm going to learn this shit Lexi used to do. Therefore, I could tell you, boy, block Lexi ass. But it's going to be very hard for him to stop thinking about Lexi if you are not willing to at least indulge in trying to do the things that the Lexis, the Britneys, and the Natashas done previously. If that
But
makes
how
any
you just
sense.
said it was how
Y'all
he
can
needed
rebut
to
it.
say it. He didn't need to mention anybody's name. Exactly how you just said it is how he needs to come to me and tell me that. You know?
I'm experienced. I know you're not that experienced, babe, but I like this. Do you mind trying this? Now, what happens when you get on month 8th, 9th, year in, and he's still like on his 11th time asking you, can you do this for me?
Now it depends. Do we got kids? We got young kids at that? Do we got babies?
Y'all got everything. I don't give a damn what y'all got. Y'all got job. Everybody working. We got kids. Y'all got periods. Y'all got the same shit y'all been having for 4,000, 6,000, all these years humans exist.
When I tell you it's a no for me right now, I mean I had kids back to back. Okay, we cut off right now. Okay, so I don't know. That's somebody else's question. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he has to hold restraint right now.
But that's like I'm gonna say he gotta be patient. Like we gotta be patient because we could say that like you know what I'm saying. The tables can turn with that too. We could expect a lot of that, like a lot of out of them. You know what I'm saying too. So I feel like it goes both ways. Like we both gotta be patient and just grow together. Like sometimes I'm gonna lack at something and then he gonna lack at something.
Are you
If that
saying you
makes
got
sense.
to be patient for his
Now you were saying that it's
sexual
stuff that his
temptations?
yeah, like if it's certain stuff that I probably want him to do that I'm trying to teach him to do. That makes sense.
Yeah, if you got experience.
If he okay.
Oh, you're basing it off of somebody who does not have experience.
I'm
Yeah,
just
who
saying,
does that?
I know that's what niggas
Like if I
prefer.
say my ex used to do this, my ex used to do that, like he not gonna like that if I say that. You know what I'm saying?
When she brought preference in of a lot of women prefer men with experience, I just felt like, I'm the only man here. I felt like I would enlighten that a lot of guys prefer women that have low experience, but the caveat is you have low experience, but you're willing to experience these things with me, whether I'm your husband, your man, whatever the prominent title is at the time, baby daddy. Everybody got different relationships, different titles, different things, kings, queens, whatever everybody call each other.
I mean, so on that aspect, yes. I mean, that's how I had kids back to back. I'm non-experienced before my husband. Had kids back to back. Regret it, kinda. So yeah.
I warned niggas about that. And I seen that so many of my family members just start back to back. Say, oh yeah, you niggas here is hard as a rock. Look, she laughing. She So all right. That was a good one. I'm sorry, I have to play devil's advocate sometimes for the people in the comments because I have people that watch it. I have to bring nuance and context to the conversation. Uh, as y'all do talk and we definitely listen, but for some of the listeners at home, they would like me to find a way for y'all to expound on y'all points. So please don't beat me up. So, pink flag topic number 3. Your partner has children outside of your relationship, but doesn't involve you in the decisions about them. Is that a red flag, or that's pretty cool? That's a pink flag.
I think that's a red flag. At first I was like thinking before you started adding birthday parties and all this extra stuff. Like at first I'm thinking like responsibilities. I'm like, look, if you want to take care of all the responsibilities for his child, and he got it, and don't look like he need no help, then go be father of the year. But being excluded from a lot of those things, I feel like is a red flag to me because it does stunt the growth and development within, the woman and the child, boy or girl, and their relationship. They're just going to be seen as that other person who just lives at our house type of vibe. That's my dad's friend. So, yeah, red flag.
I love family questions. If the man that I'm involved with does not involve me, and I'm trying to figure out about for you to exclude me from your children's lives, it almost makes me feel like you're excluding me from your life too. And it's not that, oh, I want to say over someone's children that are not like my child legitimately. But if me and you have an our situation and I'm here to support you, I'm here to help you, I'm here to build with you, you don't have to get my permission up. By no man needs permission to parent his children. And I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. He does not need my permission to parent his children. I would think you would just naturally want to share with me about your children because your children are an extension of you. Would I want to have any level of authority over the children? Not necessarily, but to exclude me from it is a bit odd. So if it's a situation, the other baby mother and this, I would want to know her too. Like if we're moving towards like a family situation, yeah, I want to meet her too. I want to support her too. You guys' relationship didn't work out, but we're all as adults still responsible for the children, their well-being, their development, just their success in general. I would feel hurt if I wasn't considered, but I would be fine. Again, no parent needs permission to parent their children at the same time. So I'm still gonna go with red.
Um, I would, as a child who grew up in that type of situation, well, I won't say that type of situation because my mother wasn't excluded. She was actually included in everything, and it's still included to this day. I know all my siblings. We're very close. But I mean, the way it's phrased is hard for me to answer because exclude is such a that's a hard word, and so the way it's said is like he's telling you can't come, whereas you would have permission to be there or be a lot like the other child's mother isn't saying you can't come, but he's saying no. Then yes, it's a red flag. But if it's exclusion because the other child's mother is on some other shit, and he's just like, I don't want my kids. I want to just be there for my child and enjoy that and not like I don't really know how to really take that question to and like I said, a child who's grown up in it and hadn't had to experience that. Like I know we have the mothers and my mother have amazing relationships. Like we cool. I can show pictures. Like we're cool to this day. So I don't know anything about that, but with the way it's worded, it kind of throws me off to say how to answer it. But I would say if he was just off some you can't come, he's really like excluding type shit, then yeah, it's a red flag.
Y'all, I got 6 bonus kids and I love them to death. Okay. So it is a red flag. I met all my 6 bonus kids within maybe like the first month and a half of knowing my husband. I just think if you're going to work, and it goes back to knowing what you want out of life and what you're willing to accept. So if I know for a fact that I want something with you and you're not willing to give it, what we do? I mean, yeah. If I can't come to their events, I mean, I talk to the baby mamas all the time, more than the husband. more than my husband talks to the mamas and the kids. Like, I talk to the kids. I just think if you don't want me a part of your life, because that is your life, you created this life, regardless of if you're with the baby mama or not. You created this life. You wanted something with this. Do you want something with me? If not, you don't want me to meet your kids. But I did. So here we go.
I feel like it's a red flag and then it's not, because it all depends like on the baby mother and the baby father and how they act like towards the part their like their new baby, like their new partner or whatever, like how they, like if they a bam out or not. So I feel like it's a red flag and I don't feel like it's a red flag. So I believe what Carmen was saying.
To me, that's definitely a red flag. I feel like if whoever you with outside of you, the person you had kids with, whoever you with, they a part of your life now, right? So I feel like they should be a part of the birthdays. They should be a part of the. It should be an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel. It should be an understanding. Everybody should be on one accord. You know what I'm saying? And if that's not the case, I feel like it's a red flag.
No, but I did have something to say to Carmen's point. If they are having a hostile co-parenting situation and I'm being excluded, removed for the sake of them having a more successful parenting experience, that's a pink flag. And that's something I could accept. That's something that I could work with. And that's something I could be patient with. I also heard Ron say if the person's like, bam, and oh, you think this woman might, if my presence is going to cause more harm to the situation than help him, then I would not mind whatever space that he needs me to act as, however he needs me to support him, I will be okay with that. So in that instance, I'm saying a pink flag. But if they're co-parenting, if that's not the case, if that's not the contingency, then I will have more questions as to why am I being excluded from this situation. Is there more to the situation that I need to know? But again, if they are having a hostile co-parenting, if it's sensitive, you very well know if it's a young child, it could be very sensitive, a lot of hormones going on with the mom not being removed from her child's father, and me being in there, just me being present could be a trigger for her depending on what how they end it. So if he's saying, hey, look, me, this is what's going on, and he's open with me as to why I'm being excluded, that could be pink for me. But if you just secretive and I'm just like, no, nah, you ain't coming, and girl, go over there. Yeah, wait a minute, friend. How can what did I do? Like, I love birthday parties. Like, what? Let me pour the soda. What's going on? So I just wanted to say I just want to say I do understand, and a lot of times it's hostile. And just to make this point, it can be very heartbreaking when the relationship between yourself and the other parent of your child doesn't work out. That's extremely heartbreaking. I don't know if you know how other people felt, but I know for me. So I would always want to be sensitive to that and support that family the best way I could. So
Okay, just to ask a question off of that. Um, at what point, and I've never been through this, but at what point, even if the baby mother and the baby father has a bad relationship and you're not able to, but they have like partial custody, at what point does it become a problem then? Because if the child is in my home and I'm not able to parent, right? How does that, I mean, I'm not in, I don't know how we do this.
That's how I'm looking at it, because I know a majority of y'all situations as women, if you date the guy most likely don't have the kids. So the kids is gonna be with the mom. So if the mom is throwing birthday parties and da da da, his ass might be barely invited, depending on what type of father he is. So if he is invited, who knows if the new girlfriend is always invited?
Well, no, no, I'm saying as far as the co-parent part, because if they are co-parenting, if they have their kids half and half,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know what 365 is, right? Divided by two.
Okay. Let's say
That.
that.
And you're not invited to the birthday party because the baby mother does not want you invited. You know what I'm saying?
Do you throw your own, do y'all throw your own parties?
Yeah, I say
Right.
throw
Do
your
we
own
throw our own
party.
parties? Because I would
I've
have my
I
own
was say
party
I've witnessed people that
beforehand.
Throw
done
your
that
own
before.
party.
Yeah, I'll
Speaking of
have a party
spirit,
beforehand.
yeah. Speaking of spirit, yeah.
For your
Throw
own
your
party.
own.
So just the kid,
Yeah,
hey, kid get two parties.
yeah. Then invite her on purpose. She can come.
And the other kids. And the other kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Your partner refuses to post you and your relationship on social media, but is actively otherwise on social media. Is that a red flag or no biggie? That's a pink flag.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Your significant other refuses to post you on social media, but you seen them post their past relationships
Red
before,
flag.
or
Red
you
flag.
see them on social media active. Red
Yeah,
flag.
red flag. Yeah.
At this juncture, I'm gonna give it a pink flag at this juncture. If we're not engaged, if we're not married, you don't need to post me because we're not even doing anything. So I'm gonna give that one a pink flag. If he posted prior girlfriends, that's cool. I'm over that. So if you're not trying to make me for real official, like you posted me on Instagram or Facebook, I could kind of care less unless you gave me the paperwork. So if you're not posting me, we must be casual, and I support that.
Oh, I'm pink all the way through. My husband don't post a goddamn person, but he will post about football 24 damn 7. But he will not post anybody. I mean, I think the first 2 years of us being together, he posted on birthdays and anniversaries, but that's it. I don't give a damn about social media. I don't care what any of this world got to say about my relationship because this is my household. Okay, I don't care.
But yeah, I think it just depends. Like if they're a private person before and it's like on the private scene, it's just a continuation of being a private lifestyle, then it's cool. It's pink flag. But if they was loud and flamboyant and outside and living life, and now all of a sudden they're in a relationship and they keep posting, but they not like trying to be loud and flamboyant all of a sudden, yeah, it's a red flag for me. So as long as they stay true to how they were before, and it's nothing weird going on, it's a
It is a pink, I'll say lavender or fuchsia. But for real, more pink for me because as soon as they post me, then somebody, one of their bad ass man's gonna come and man, you need to fuck with me. And then no, I don't need none of that. Keep your fans over there. I don't want none of that. So no, don't post me. And that might be what messed up his last relationship, posting his last young lady, and she got taken by somebody who liked what he posted. So keep me in the cut. I put my own post up. Don't nobody need to know about me. Our relationship is our relationship. I don't need please don't send me no new followers, no new nothing. I'm good on my end. So I'm pink over here.
So I will say, because Z pointed out a big thing, my ex is an ex because he did not post. Mind blown, right? Like I didn't understand it. But he posted his friends, but he refused to post me. All along he was cheating, so there we go.
So everybody, but I think it seems like everybody but Carmen. I know Z said it was a tricky situation. Um, Danny went MIA. Uh,
Now I'm right here.
your your uh your partner refuses to post you on social media, but posts otherwise. Is that a red flag or that's pretty cool? Don't mind, it's a pink flag.
I mean, all right, so I'm gonna only speak from personal situations. I feel like it's not a problem if your partner don't post you or if I don't post my partner. I mean, as long as like we know what it is, like what are we showing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we glorifying? Like, I I've been in relationships where people wanted me to post them, and I just felt like it was just wasn't genuine. That's just in my perspective. Like, it just wasn't genuine. Like, asking me to post you all the time, like, but if it happens like organically and naturally, then that's cool. So I feel like I say a pink flag because I mean, you don't always gotta glorify your relationship to let people know you're in a relationship. And then I think her name Common, like Common said, like that that draws attention to people in your partner, and people be trying to slide and your person. It's a pink flag for me.
I felt like that was great nuance, Danny. I was gonna play devil's advocate in order to build that nuance, and then Common came, kind of slam dunked it. You came and kind of reiterated. I definitely wanted to push back though on the ladies with the red flag on the for one, the dangers of social media, man, and exposing what is yours to the world, and then also just to trying to evaluate what be the benefit of exposing what's yours to the world, because in the same situation we would say, hey, we ain't gonna post on social media our $1 million plan,
Right.
but we'll post the most valuable things in the world to us for the world exposure. For what is the world gonna do to us? Even from all of our own personal experiences, did we ever post our loved ones and then the world came and gave us something, or our loved ones something beautiful? I'm talking about without us selling sympathy. Now, no disrespect to everybody getting car crashes or have diseases or anything like that, but a lot of people sell sympathy, which is a lot of times definitely worth it. You know what I'm saying? Especially with me doing community work, a lot of things does need to be brought to awareness, right? But when we bring things to awareness, violence, anything that's, detriment to our community, it's because we feel like that awareness and that exposure, we're going to give it to people and people can come and help them, right? But if we don't feel like we need no particular the world to be particularly in our relationship and help our relationship, I would just want to ask y'all ladies that said red flag, what would be the benefit of your man posting you 24/7?
Exactly.
Would the biggest benefit just be for to show his admiration to you, so you won't feel like it's a red flag? Or is this other benefits that I don't see or others don't see, like me, Carmen, and Danny, that there's benefits that besides those other things that because we know it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I don't post my girl a lot because I know, like, when you got something very that you really hold very sacred and valuable, that I feel is so beautiful and so great, I want it, nigga. You think the world ain't gonna want it? So it's like, why would I just keep posting her looking like this and looking like that so I can expose to people to her sexuality, her beauty? For what? We're not selling that. She don't make money off her beauty. She don't make money off her sexuality. You know what I'm saying? I don't sell clothes. She's not my number one model when I'm selling clothes for a reason, because I don't want to put her on the forefront like that because I got to protect her at all times. So I would want to know for the ladies, what benefit does that bring? You dumped somebody for it, Charlie. So
No, I know, I know. And I'm thinking back on it and I'm like, but I knew something was going on. That's why he was not posting me. So it wasn't of my safety type of thing. It was, or they gonna call me. And they did call me. She called me. The whole called me. Okay. And she was like, yeah, I'm sleeping with him. And I went to his door. All right, I was in college, y'all. I went to his dorm in Pennsylvania. I drove up the night of, went to his dorm, and I caught them in bed, and I still saved the man. Fast track. Uh, I called him again, and I broke his tail light. So don't take no advice from me. Don't do it. Just don't. I was a child back then. I had no sense of what the fuck was right. I'm glad he did not press charges on me. Okay, because I just my husband doesn't post me, and we're in a great relationship. Ups and downs, of course, but otherwise we're great. We have two beautiful kids. I'm sorry, in this household we have two beautiful kids in this household. We got 10 damn kids total. Okay, 10. Okay, we get some of them. So yeah, I don't know. Don't take advice from me. Don't take advice from me.
I mean, we all walk through different walks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You can struggle. You can handle the burden or the struggle that you perceive that you got. That weight is for you. You know what I'm saying? So there ain't no benefits, huh, ladies, from getting posted on social media. But yet we will.
I
Now I
did
will
want to
say
say
it is a benefit
something.
because sometimes my husband posted me my husband posted me and I got a wave of business. I'm a baker. So he like posted my cake and stuff and I got a wave of business during that time. So it is some benefits. It
Now, did
depends on what
he
he's
post
posting.
my wife's cake business or did he post Charlie's Bakery?
He posts my wife made this cake and cheesecake for me.
Okay,
Y'all need to
that's
go
a great
get her,
example. That's
you
a great
know.
example. That's a great example. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Because you know, coworkers, other people, the homies, sometimes it give a better incentive to be like, oh, let me support my man wife. Like, so that's a great example. I like that. I like that. That's I mean, I don't know. I just know that it's so much detriment to social media sometimes where it's like if y'all not benefit solely like that, I don't really see that. But to each his own. That's why we here. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree. I agree. But I
Neither.
do feel like you need to be at that evolved understanding before you get in a relationship. Don't decide to come to that understanding during a relationship because you have a lot of stuff beyond before a relationship that you should hold dear and important. So I feel like sometimes uh don't mean to say it, but it do be men. But then I just want to say just cheaters in general, people that can't be trusted. They like to turn on a brighter new leaf when they're in a relationship to hide things. So as long as it's a genuine thing that's already been practiced, it's a pink flag. But it's a solid red flag for me if it was not a thing before. And I don't want to be on nobody's page like that anyways, but just in general. Like
That's a great point. Y'all wasn't holding back, man, about them flags. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely love it. The flags definitely don't just represent relationships. They definitely about communication, respect, and knowing your worth. So we're gonna keep it moving, man, to the next segment of women of the culture. Now it's time for women on the culture. Now, since this episode is about relationships, these women of the culture are influential on how they navigated love, relationships, their success, and their failures. Tonight, we spotlighting two women with very different stories, Halle Berry and singer Ciara. So Halle Berry, she known for her beauty, her talent, and her publicized failed relationships. She represents resilience and independence despite setbacks. Ciara transitioned from toxic relationships like Lil Bow Wow, 50 Cent, Future, to a supportive relationship like Russell Wilson. So, what I want to ask y'all is what could we learn from their approaches to love, and how do we define a successful relationship?
Successful relationships, you gotta go for the what's natural type. I mean, if that makes sense, like what you're used to, like you know what I'm saying. And I feel like for example, I'm gonna say Sierra because I can't really touch up on Halle Berry like relationship and stuff like that. But she like you said, she dated two different type of rappers. She dated Bow Wow. She dated who Future. Them two different type of niggas than Russell. You know, he's probably not what she used to, and I feel like if you're not used to like if you're not comfortable if you're uncomfortable with something, that might work out for the best of you, you know? So I just feel like just not going for the same type that you're used to. If you branch out to, this, if you branch out to something different, something that you're not used to, that shit might fuck around and work. So that's what I get to take. That's what I take on that shit.
Shit, I was over here shaking my head like, go ahead, Dan, you better talk your shit, cause I wholeheartedly agree with what she just said. Like yeah, when I go against what I'm used to, it tends to work a lot better or longer than when I go with my regular. When I go get that number two all the time, when I venture out and get that number seven with extra this or that, it just always tastes better than that regular little number two I always get.
I believe what Danny and Carmen just said is going with the opposite. Don't go what you used to.
I agree also, but I do also want to say, just like with looking at her evolution as a woman, just even how she displayed herself, the projects that she was taking part in, all of those things also had evolved with her shift and her change of choices and men and what she wanted and it was going to accept. Uh, she also was shifting herself with that. So I just feel like with that uncomfortableness, let's also make shifts with ourselves, those uncomfortable changes that we know we need to make and make those shifts because we can't also be ready for that new changed uncomfortable space if we haven't properly prepared ourselves. So I agree, but I just wanted to add on just a little bit.
I have no idea what the hell Holly Berry does with relationships. And I try to like stuff and stuff. I'm like, what? But whatever. I'm not like a social media person at all. I'm not. Kudos, right? With Sierra though, where she transitioned. First of all, I did not know she dated 50 Cent. Okay, whatever. Weird, but I feel like she kind of talked on what we all talked about during this whole series right now. We need to know ourselves and what we will accept. She went looking for something. She got one thing, right? Well, Future, and she had her child, and then Future was not the person for her. She then decided to move on and go to Wilson. Yeah. Um, and they have a beautiful family. But I think that goes back to saying that we need to know what we want at the end of the day. Um, my husband got on my goddamn nerves, y'all. He's still getting on my nerves. But I didn't know that's what I needed to get to where I wanted to be. So I think her transition of growth is what we needed to see in society to know that this is what women can do.
Is Halle Berry the one with like 4 divorces and pays alimony to all of them, and then the fathers have full custody? Is that is that correct? Or because I feel like I saw something about her relationships because I didn't know too much about it.
You on
But
point.
okay. versus Ciara, who was free dating and decided to have a more responsible approach to her spouse, and subsequently the father of her other, I think, four other children she's had with this man by now. So she went from what I guess some might call, I guess, irresponsible, to a more responsible approach to how she, I guess, decided to pursue her future relationships. I'm gonna have to go with Ciara on this one. I mean, Halle Berry, maybe she's happy with 4 divorces. I don't know what goal she set for herself. So I can't speak on that. For me personally, I don't know how wonderful I would feel after 4 divorces and then paying all these men money. Like, that actually sounds like a nightmare to me, actually, as a woman, to pay 4 men alimony, to not have full custody or not have custody of the children. She's living life like a bachelor. That's just not, to me, something that I personally aspire to. But some women might think that's successful. I mean, she's got the money, I guess, to pay these men to raise her children. So maybe that's success in her mind. I am a proponent of fathers for full custody, so I can't really be upset with that. But I'm probably gonna go with Ciara on this one, who chose to give the remainder of her children one father, one legacy, one direction to move towards, a more what is this word, unified direction for her family. Um, I don't know, like, about her prayer or anything, or the things that she went about to have that lifestyle for herself. But I am grateful, that, like Charlie said, she is an example on a level. Not that we should be paying attention to celebrities, because 9 times out of 10 they're on some bullcrap. But in this particular instance, that as a woman, yes, you can decide that you want better for your life. You can decide that you want to make better selections as far as the men that you're entertaining. And you can move in that direction unapologetically. And I do appreciate that example, being able to see that, even with so much banter back and forth about, her specifically, Ciara's lifestyle, how a lot of people are like, she didn't deserve this, but she got whatever she earned. We don't know what's going on with that family behind closed doors, but as far as the image that they're portraying, I think more of us do need to see that, what, it's okay to build a family with somebody. It's okay to get it right. Like, you might actually work out with somebody that's more your type. That's not your type, rather. Sounds like Halle Berry keeps going for her type, because 4 divorces and alimony is wild.
They
So I got
both,
a
for
question
the
on that.
record, that for everybody that don't know, just for the record, they both have 2 baby daddies, 2 kids. I mean, 2 baby daddies. One of them has 3 kids. One of them has 2 kids. Sierra got 3 kids because she got multiple with Russell Wilson. But Holly Berry has 2 baby daddies, 2 kids. But those 2 guys, she does pay child support and alimony, to where she's paying about $25,000 a month currently to these 2 guys. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think?
So my question though, Meek. So we kind of praise Sierra for moving on past the situation, but we then downplay Holly Berry for moving out of both situations. She's paying child support for these kids. She knows for a fact that she's not a mom, by all means. And, by all means, if you're not a mom, even if circumstances.
Now, Charlie, may I push back and ask you, are you telling me that men and women, so women who, that was fire, women who pay child support aren't moms and men who pay child support aren't
No, no,
dads?
no, at all. Not saying that at all. I'm
Oh,
saying the pushback of it. We're saying Sierra because she has 2 baby daddies, right? Holly Berry has 2 baby daddies. And she, all right, y'all. Okay.
I don't know. She got. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Charlie. She got me trying to do the shit. My bad. Yeah, go ahead.
Is saying that Holly Berry is the bad person in this, even though, like Carmen, because Carmen is not a mother, but she is a mom, right? Carmen, that's the terms we use. So in that instance,
Carmen ain't on camera.
huh?
Carmen, but under you, she ain't on camera.
Well, I knew what I'm sorry I didn't verbally say it because I was shaking my
I
head. So
got you.
but she must have could feel me because she
From
said
last
yes.
from last episode. Okay, long as y'all connected. All right, hey, long as y'all connect. Let me stay. Mind my business. Let me listen. I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute my.
So I'm saying in that aspect of Holly Berry, Carmen is Holly Berry, and one of us are Sierra at this point. We can't bash either one of them. I mean, you're as a parent, you're going through this individually. You're learning what works for you. Even though your kids come first, you also have your spouse. You have that other person you have to take into consideration at this point, right? So you can't say that Holly Berry's wrong for moving on and just throwing money at them because that's what she needed to do. That's what she needed to do to better not only her life, the father's life, and those kids' life. Same with Sierra.
I support fathers for full custody, so I'm personally not bashing the lady. I think fathers having full custody will work out for a lot of people if they would allow it. I know that's not something that's necessarily common in American society, but a lot of women are losing their minds, taking on the position of two people. So Halle Berry giving fathers full custody is actually an excellent thing. I mean, if they weren't fit to raise children, you possibly shouldn't have made any children with that person. So I'm not knocking that part at all. Just to clarify, I'm very much pro fathers take full custody.
Ladies, y'all
So
know she's also paying alimony. Means she's paying for these men lifestyle
that's the
as well,
yikes
right?
part. That's the yikes, but okay.
But don't we
That's a yikes.
for for real? I mean, I have a husband who's on child support. Don't we pay not necessarily just for the damn kids? Because when they say they got a field trip on Monday, I'm sending money. When they say they need stuff for whatever, I'm sending money. But we're also paying child support. So in those cases, isn't that the alimony that the court is not deciding to pay, but they're just accepting the child support? You see what I'm
See,
saying?
Halle Berry's case, I believe these children get child support from her, and because these are ex-husbands that are receiving alimony, that means that she's fully supporting these men that she's not with. So,
Right.
in traditionally where men do this, Halle is the guy, and these guys are the stay-at-home dads. So she's the big provider, big mama, and then her ex-husbands are stay-at-home husbands or stay-at-home
Now,
dads now.
Okay, but
granted, to give you context, Charlie,
no, let's
not to
flip it.
cut you off, to give you context, out of the four marriages that we were saying, because we put a lot of weight on her for having four failed marriages, right? But at the same time, two of those guys, one was Eric Benet. I don't know if y'all know Eric Benet, but Eric Benet makes five music and he ain't the poorest guy in the world. And then another guy is David Justice, who was a baseball player, a very renowned baseball player. Baseball players make a lot of money. So their marriage and stuff, that wasn't disclosed to the public. So I don't got no information on them, to be 100. But the other two guys who are nobodies, who is getting alimony and who's getting child support, those guys are getting chicken. So just like she said, it's in a reverse effect of if those guys ain't making nowhere near as much as Holly, but then they got exposed to that lifestyle, was married to her, living that lifestyle, and then they're in a divorce. Do they not deserve alimony, ladies?
I don't know, because I'm flipping it.
It's a lot of quiet people on this panel right now.
I'm flipping it for you as men because I'm speaking for a man and I'm living through a man who we're going through this right now. Um, it's different because he is getting alimony for one child. My husband is getting alimony and child support for one child. He makes a good living. We make a good living. I don't think, I don't agree with this, y'all. I don't know how to put it into words to make people understand it, but I do not agree with it. I think
I think the words exist. Come on, ladies, help her out. Unmute them
Please.
mics.
Halle Berry was Big Mama. I mean, hey, and she got a pay. That's
but
on her. She did. I saw she did come into these situations making more than these guys, and at the end of the day, she's the one that had to pay. I mean, that's how typically things are going. Now, it's not as usual for us to see a woman. I think Mary J. Blige also had to pay alimony because she's dealing with this regular sort of guy that's making possible regular money. And now she ends up being big mama during a relationship, big mama after the relationship, but she didn't have children for that situation. So, hey, if you want to be the big, big head honcho in a relationship, just keep that same energy without complaint. Now, I personally, that's a no for me. I'm not trying to be big mama, sugar, and all this. And oh my God, hey, big money. That's not my thing. But for them, I'm grateful that it worked out. And again, fathers with full time custody, especially if you work for Metro, sound good for me. I don't, because please, if I need to leave this relationship the way I came, take your children
Will
and
we
raise
complain?
them.
Will we complain if Ciara and Russell Wilson got divorced and then Ciara got alimony?
I
sorry,
think he should take his children and she should lead the way she came. She should go ahead and live her life. Leave them kids
I
right
agree.
there, ma'am. Leave them
but
children with him and move
Oh,
on.
this is. Oh, she said leave the kids too.
but it,
Okay. Well, I think that people should leave as you came because I feel like when like the relationship doesn't work, you didn't accept that person, so you shouldn't accept everything that comes along with them. So like if I that's how I feel, and used to like I take things go old time things, and I used to see the women and the men. They all left with what they came with. They left with their little suitcase, their bag. They da da da. The women used to be like, I don't want the pearls, I don't want the this, I don't want the that. I'm taking with what I came with because they were leaving the relationship. The people now they're like, oh, I don't want that person, but that's unfair because I got set up like this, and I need to be able to survive. Like, no, ma'am, you said that didn't work for you. So go ahead and make things work for yourself and you're around. So I just feel like it's greed, and I feel like alimony and the way that is like expected, that should be the other person being like, you know what, I want to be able to help you. Like I still love and respect for you and care for you. I want to make sure to help you. So I feel like it came into play because people don't have that genuineness in their heart. But I just feel like just to hold people accountable to it, and then the way that they do, they like do extra sometimes. Maybe low
but
key castrating people, taking
but with
everything.
divorces though, with divorces, when you get married in the court of law, and you then decide you want to divorce, you want to leave that relationship, even separating, and I'm only speaking for Maryland because that's understanding now. Um, you literally have to write down everything. When I say alimony comes into play, regardless of if you want it or not, it comes into play. So if I decide to leave my husband, he gets half of what I want, right? Whatever ever I have, he gets half of. The kids, we split down the middle. So alimony will always come into play. And that's the like downfall of divorce. That's why a lot of my I work with mental illness patients and everything. A lot of my patients, they do not want to get divorced. They'll literally say separated for life because they don't want to go through the courts and their appointed view of what divorce is. You know what I mean?
Who should be more afraid, women or men, getting divorced?
I think it should be separated equally, honestly. If the man has a job and I have a job, me and my husband, if we both are equal, we're down the middle. We are. It it needs to be split. And also, it doesn't need to be split. Like, just leave with what you got. I wish the courts will let you do that, but they don't.
But you know, it's factually known that women initiate
And no
divorce
Indian
more than men.
givers.
Right.
Gifts go too. They gotta come.
If those two, the house, the car that you bought for me, for our marriage, for our family, that comes with me. You know. So, but honestly, in the court of law, it doesn't work that way. So we can't say which goes before what. In court of law, it's split down the middle.
I
And
changed. Oh,
that's
I'm
what.
sorry.
Sorry, that's it.
I changed my vote. I'm going with Halle Berry. I'm gonna go with Halle Berry. Because I thought about this even in the process of this conversation. So you mean to tell me the father gets full custody and I get to be the mom on the weekend, and this money that I had anyway already to pay this man to raise our children, and now he got the bag and I'm free to do what I need to do, and I gave you your son slash whatever daughter. I actually pick Halle Berry's way. I'm gonna go with her way instead. Thanks. I said Ciara because I'm like, oh, that's nice. No, I think that these fathers need full custody, full responsibility. And if I make that type of money that I can pay the child support and it doesn't
Oh
phase my
shit!
life, that's the way I'm going. That's
I, for,
my vote. That's
I
my
I agree
forgot.
vote.
because I
I
actually
thought you
say
was
that.
big
I
screen. I forgot
actually
I was
say
on
that.
camera.
I actually say that. Like, yes, I agree. Like, I literally just told my kids, their dad, like, look, y'all don't like the way things are going, whatever, whatever. Y'all could go with your dad and I could pay child support and I could see you guys on the weekends. And I told them that. I told them I will visit regularly and we could do fun things and go on trips. But they said they want to stay with me. But I was just like, I think that is a nice thing because I feel like as being a single mother for so long and like just the sacrifices I made throughout the relationship, I was a single mother, and then after the relationship, I was an even more single mother. So it was just like I made a lot of sacrifices so that he would be able to excel. And then just even as a single mother after the relationship, I decided to still take on a lot of stuff so that he could get on, get comfortable in a new space because I did keep the place and stuff like that. So I was just like being considerate, but I've just always done that. And like now I need that same support and I'm not getting that. So I'm just like, I wouldn't mind paying child support so I can get some things together and, get to take care of things. But nobody wants to do that. He doesn't want to take care of them full time and they don't want to be there full time. So yeah, I can't do that if I wanted to. But
That's an
yeah,
interesting perspective.
yeah. Just saying though. But I do like Sierra's lifestyle. That's like ideal. I do agree. Like, that is ideal. But just realistically,
I
currently,
thought that
we
was
were
the fairy
to
tale for
make
the
this
man to
decision
come
tomorrow.
with the cape, save you.
No, Captain Save anybody. I'm not Cinderella waiting for someone to Rapunzel, none of it. Like, I don't understand why Rapunzel didn't use her hair to get herself down. She could have cut it when she got down. Like, girl, tie your hair up there and get yourself down. And when you get down to the ground, you cut your hair wherever you feel like you're done and then keep it pushing. But no,
Z,
she put it down to bring somebody else up. Like,
you are preaching, Z, ma'am.
I don't know. I don't know.
That went crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Holly and Sierra remind us that love isn't one size fit all. Exactly. Whether you're thriving solo or you're in a partnership, the key to knowing your worth and staying true to yourself is a very key factor. So where we gonna go, man? This is our last and final segment. This is where from previous segments and people that give me all type of ideas and they send me topics and issues to be able to get the panelists and the ladies to discuss. This is the We Talk Back. In the future, possibly I might have some guys up here, man, on the We Talk Back segment. Hopefully, y'all be welcome to that, to push some of these niggas around, man, and give them some of their insight, make them, I'll make them sit backstage the whole show listen to everything y'all got to say, and then we'll have maybe a hot topic at the end. But until then, here we go.
Call me when you get home. Okay.
All right, y'all. It's time for We Talk Back. This is where we dive into the big questions and the real about what matters the most, the hot topics, the finale. And tonight's hot topic is 50-50 relationships. Is it realistic or should someone always take the lead? Do y'all believe in gender roles? Do y'all believe in traditional relationships? Do y'all believe, hey, it's a new era, new way? Or does it have to be a financial balance? Does it have to be a type of balance with emotional labor? And what does like the fairness of love and relationships look like?
Thank you. Thank you for asking me this question. Um, I think 50-50 is something new, maybe. I don't support it. I don't support it. I don't support splitting bills. I don't support women having to contribute monetarily to the bills. I don't support that. I know it's very normalized. I know it's very regular. Um, I know that a lot of us have seen situations where there was financial abuse or whatnot. But just moving forward, I'm sorry, I think that someone should take the lead. I 100% believe in gender roles. I'm not going to pay money when I can just pay respect. That's me personally. Um, Asking me to pay bills sounds like devil worship to me. And again, I know that it's not. I know people are saying we're living in a world where we need two incomes, but we're also living in a world of overconsumption. We're also living above our means. We're also very financially disrespectful um, to our actual incomes. Um, People are saying things become very expensive when no one's home. And so when we have situations where it's like let's say it's two parents that have to work, two parents that are out working and contributing, essentially it becomes more expensive because two people are outside of the home. And now you're having to outsource things that wouldn't even cost you money. Now you're paying for two things because the children are literally kind of not even being monitored at home. There's actually nobody at home. So now where we have children being watched by tablets, we have both parents outside the home. Our children are paying the price for that. Over the last 30 years, we've seen what it's done. Now, maybe people are cool with what's happening in our community. The fact that we don't have financial dominance, our Black men are not becoming financially dominant. They're not being encouraged to do so. They're being given every excuse as to why they're not able to be financially successful and dominant over their families as um, other communities are able to do. And we continuously coddling the situation, saying, well, we need two incomes. Well, then privately make some money at home. Privately make sure that you're not spending a certain amount of money until, like, we're patient, like how we were talking earlier about being patient about sexual things and sexual acts. We also have to be patient as we're building wealth and learning how to spend inside of our means and grow something as a family unit together. So I 100% I'm not in favor of 50-50. I'm not. I think it's a trap. And I think at the end of the day, it's killing a lot of people because we don't see what it's doing to us. Gender roles will help a lot of health issues that a lot of women and men are having. Long-term emasculation is what's happening because you're not paying him all the respect that you can because he's not even dominant in the house. And I guess people don't want to, notice that this is going on, and that's fine. But I'm not here for it. I'm 100% for gender roles. I'm 100% for him taking the lead because you need to be a man. I'm here for you to be a man. I'm here to support you being a man. And if it means I got to go without some things a couple of years until you can get it together, I'm willing to do so that I can put the crown on your head.
It's up and down. I don't know. I don't know how to explain. Explain it. Like I see Meek, I see her, I see where she coming from. And I also feel like it's a new era. Like it's not no big me, little me now. And I just feel like other people just don't have opportunities as other people. And long as that other person is trying and you see that they trying. And like long as like y'all like have an agreement with certain stuff. I know I be all over the place, but I feel like it could be 50-50 nowadays.
I like girls, so it's a different thing. But to put in all in hindsight, like I feel like Mama said, like it's a different era. It's a different. Everything is different. Like you know what I'm saying. And a man might not be financially stable to pay everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like it don't work like that. Like y'all in a partnership, so even if it's not 50-50, like I don't think a man or whoever should be paying most of the bills, and it don't work like that. Like life don't work like that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's bill shit. Like shit expensive as fuck nowadays, bro. You gotta look at it like realistically. Like shit is expensive as fuck. And I feel like if y'all in a partnership, if your man don't got it, you should have it. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. So that's my take on it.
I agree with what the last three young ladies said pretty much. I come from the generational era where the man was the man, and like he really did what he was supposed to do, and took it's like he was the man of the house for the most part. And I guess he took over like 80-90% of the responsibilities. And even when those in the males in my family went to prison, they still made sure shit got taken care of out here. So it can happen, and but then there are situations where passes should and could be given, and so I agree where it's like case by case. And but I'm more so on the I do agree that a man needs to be a man and take care of the family if he's going to be in one. If you're going to create one and you're going to be a part of one, then you need to be the man in one. So it varies, but for me I'm more so that the man needs to be the man.
Okay, so yeah, I agree in gender roles. And I don't agree with 50-50. Um, on my last comment about the whole like child support and even just like separating like that, even that whole comment even is a contradiction, but that's just the reality of what I was placed in. Um, I ended up finding out after children, finally the truth was coming out. And it was basically, he told me what I wanted to hear because he wanted to be with me. And it was just like the truth just came out. So just like that's why a lot of things didn't happen the way that they did. So it was just the reality I was placed into. But like in an honest relationship, I do want it to be traditional. Um, yeah, I don't think 50-50 is even a thing these days anyways, because like another thing, we think of 50-50 as the financial portion and the responsibilities as far as like maintaining the house. But like when it goes to the other task that goes into maintaining the house, that usually does get pushed off onto the woman, if it is like a man woman kind of dynamic, but it does get pushed off onto the woman. So there's really not a 50-50 in the relationship. It's a 50-50 financial split, which sounds like a business agreement. So I just feel like it should be 50-50 across the board. So like that's one thing I do make clear with people who like to play those 50-50 games, just like make sure it's 50-50 across the board. Like we're going to go 50-50 on everything. And yeah, I just feel like if you're not ready for a relationship too, like you shouldn't be trying to pursue somebody. So like, like if you can't support another person, then you shouldn't have another person. And then just like I said, I like old time things also. So like the man, like if he didn't have the money to get the like to afford the wife that he wanted, meaning like the ring, the house, whatever, he would literally work. Like then he got the ring first, and he'd be like, I promise I'm gonna get you this, get this, and then he'll go get that, putting in the work, showing that that's what he like wanted. So like he was making it happen. Like now people don't make it happen. And then on top of that, like women like now, like when they have a man taking care of them, they don't have nothing on the back end. And I feel like that's not good. Like you should have money coming in. Like I was traditional. Grandma always had a stash. She always had something you could pull out of. Like she might not have spent anything. She might have act broke, but she always has some money. And like that's one thing that like I don't know that we should take into in consideration too, because hard times may happen. But like I'll do 50-50 if hard times happen, because like you know we in this together. But like we're not gonna set that expectation when it comes to me. So
Okay, so I feel like we did 50-50 last segment. So this segment, let me break it down a little bit further, right? Um, 50-50 comes into different plays. I'm not just speaking of financial. I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I would literally love to be a stay-at-home mom because I don't want to send my kids to Charles County schools. I mean, I'm an overprotective mom. I don't want to send them anywhere. I want to homeschool my kids. I want to have them travel, all those things. So I would love that aspect of it. However, we are in a different generation right now. Not my grandmother's, not my mom's, not even my sister's generation where they could afford affordable housing. I mean, I'm paying almost 28 for a 2-bedroom home. So me and my husband both work full time. My kids are in school. I'm sorry, not school, but daycare, preschool. They got like a preschool learning thing, whatever. And it's full time for them also. I feel like we meet each other halfway and not necessarily 50-50. If I got 60% of it on this right now, give me the extra 40. And he will. He'll meet me with the extra 40. It You meet people where they are. And for my family, we meet people where they are. I do believe in gender roles, but gender roles do not exist for black men. Unfortunately, they do not exist for black men because black men are at a statistic up at the 80 percentile of committing a crime that prevents them to getting a job by the age of 30. Or they're on child support and they can't get a government job. And then we're like, backtracking, figuring out where we can put them. So my husband has a good job. I make more, but we make it work. So I'm not a 50-50. Originally I was. That's how I was brought up. The husband has to take care of the home. We take care of our home. We take care of our home because this is our home at the end of the day. So 50-50 on that. We making it so that my kids make it to the next day, make it to the next year, make it to, and that's it.
I have a question. Where are all these destitute men? Because I'm a barber, maybe I'm having a skewed view on life, but men spend quite a bit of money. Men have quite a bit of money. We also have women who are able to support homes with 2, 3, 4 children on a menial funds. So now we're saying that a man can't do the same with an adult that actually can make money and can make a stash and can actually cut some of the costs of that household, because you don't need daycare if there's somebody at home. You don't need to eat out if there's somebody at home. You don't need to drive as much if there's somebody at home. So we're saying that black women, who are 80% of black women, have children. Black women are able to be head of household on whatever money they're making, because we're only making 75 cents to the dollar. But the men who are able, who are gainfully employed, men who are ambitious, men who find all sorts of ways to make money. Black men are not handicapped. They make money and they do exactly what they want when they want. So now we're saying that black men can't do it because of this. I'm I'm just confused
I
as
ain't
to
be
how I'm just confused as to how a woman who's getting welfare checks is able to support her household, but a man who has nobody behind him to take care of can at least figure out how to take care of himself and one other person, which is his wife. And then they earn the lifestyle of where their child is being able to have a full-time mother, a full-time father, a full-time family. So I'm wondering, why is it that black women are able to do this
can I
when
say
we're making a portion? Because I don't see all these unemployed, destitute black men around our area where we live.
let me
They
touch
all working.
base. Let me touch base. All right. So again, I go back to statistics, and this is all of America statistics, right? Where men do not mature until they hit after the 30 year mark, right? We're what, 20s, 30s, 40s, and we're already mature. We got kids that's 10 years old, 13 years old, and we're able to do it, right? But we were taught that way by our mothers, who were single mothers, who had to have a whole household. My mom is a single mom of 5 girls, and she had to do it on her own, right? But she didn't have to do it with a man, because the man, who is a white man, I'm biracial, my dad is white. My dad did not have it, right? Men do not mature until they get to that age. So we're hitting those aspects because we have to. It lies on us. We birth these kids. We literally have them in our womb. All they do is bust a daggone nut, and it's a baby. No, we are birth 9 goddamn months, y'all. Like, I am holding this child, and my husband is a prime example of it. He's like, "Oh, I had a part to do with it." No, the fuck you didn't. Okay, you took 2 seconds, and that's it. No, these kids are mine. So as us as moms, you know what I mean? Like, this is my child. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I gotta do to make sure that they don't have the life that I had growing up. So that is on us. That is on us as black moms to stop doing. We have to put it on them also. We have to say, hey, I'm not the only one who created this child. You're not going to get away with this child support. You're going to take care of this child. No law in the world exists for that.
To the point, men have a drop in their testosterone around age 33 to 35. That is what attributes to the fact that they are thinking more up here than with that testosterone feel in their body. So, any young lady that's listening to this, if this man has not hit that Jesus age of 33, then he's got a lot of testosterone surging through his body, and it does affect the decisions he makes, how ambitious he is. I promise you, I've seen it time after time after time. At 29, he's going to the DR for a boys trip, and by 33, this man has put down a down payment on a house. He's gotten a new job, started a business, and by 35, he's kicking his stride. So that's just FYI for any young ladies listening. If you're being patient with a man and you realize that he hasn't hit 33 yet, he will be a whole new, brand new type of man after the age of 33. So that's to the point of our sister saying that men are a bit older when they mature. And I support that. Now, this issue about these children, these kids, these baby goats, let me tell y'all something. You're having that man's child. Did y'all know that the placenta is a organ based on the father's DNA? We're having these children. These children, we're saying that they're ours. That child is his first. It's his before it's yours. So that's why it's so important to decide who you have one by. And by the way, if this man doesn't have enough to take care of at least just you, forget these kids. If he can't even just take care of you, he
Of
didn't ask for
himself.
this. of himself, that's cool, but definitely for you. If he doesn't have enough to take care of himself and then you, he didn't earn a baby yet. He doesn't deserve that baby. You gave him a baby that he didn't earn, ask for, or deserve. So, to her point, a lot of us women are 100% responsible for why so many of these guys who are not able to do this can't do it for you, because we're giving out legacy like party bag favors. So this
We are the
this this
enablers.
could be absolved. This whole 50-50 conversation could be absolved if we stop having all these children outside of wedlock, self included. I'm not listening. I promise y'all I did it too. I promise y'all I did it too. But I don't want anybody else to do it, so that you're not sitting around having a 50-50 conversation, so that you're able to promote this man first before y'all bringing in a whole new person. And now we talk about we can't afford this and stuff is expensive. Y'all didn't even write down the fact that you want to be a family, and now bills is coming after bills. So that's just what I'm, to her point. Yes, they're 40, almost 40 when they're ready to mature. So if you think that Dante at 28 gonna be ready to be the man of your dreams and he ain't even have a dad himself, sorry, sis. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'm look out for my sisters in the streets. Don't get caught. don't
I mean,
don't get caught.
so you
Plan
put
out your
a
life.
big part to it.
plan,
You put
plan
a
your
big part
life.
to it where you're saying that
In your life,
we're
yes.
young.
And we're young. And that note, when you said like the order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a man who's 50-50 could never make it. Could never make it. You know how the man, he could never be the man. Like, that's the thing. Like, they have to be able to be developed to do what Meek just mentioned. Like, they have to be able to do that, to hold that role. That's what comes along with that, too. Being able to carry that kind of weight. Of course, I'm going to let you lead the way. Of course, I'm going to listen to what you say. Of course, if you want me to improve something, I'm going to work towards it. Because what the heck, you're taking care of all of this and I don't have to worry about it. That's the least I could do. Shit, I want to do it. I was already thinking I should do that.
All
So
I know
yeah,
is don't eat
never.
green bananas. That's all I know. Just we don't eat green bananas. Underdeveloped. I'm saying underdeveloped. Just do not. If he's
Mute it.
not developed enough,
Mute it
he's
now.
not. And it's even like
That's
I'm
a
telling you,
crazy analogy. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I believe that men want to be good men. I believe that in my heart. That men want to be good men. They want to be on top. That's what I believe, and that's what I've seen. And I want that for them. For real life. But a lot of men are not even given the opportunity due to their own trauma sometimes to develop in a way that's healthy, where they can be these kings, where they can be on top, where they can excel. A lot of men are like, we're talking about us women, but some men are making babies out of trauma as well. So I'm just saying, in an ideal situation, a man who got ambition and a plan for himself, he'll have his girlfriend paying 50-50, then turn around and marry a woman and he'll pay 100% for, because that's what's in him to do. So
Ma'am.
if people want to accept 50-50, and I'm talking about a man and a woman relationship. I can't just, I don't know the other kind of dynamics, but he's saving up his money, charging you 50-50, and he'll turn right around and marry the next girl, and she ain't got to pay a dime because she's exactly what he wants. So I seen that too. I mean, I could be wrong, but like I said, green bananas, we don't eat them. You put them in a bag and wait for them to get ripe. That's just all I'm saying.
But not if you're my kids. But Dan, I have a question for you. Danny, can you hear me? I don't know. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Okay. So Danny, I have a question for you. So I know you're not into men. Whatever it is, I'm all for it, right? My thing is, for you, is it a different dynamic than what we're talking about as far as the 50-50 aspect? Because I have a sister who is homosexual, and she does not play any games. So I don't know if it's just her or if it's all of the aspect, because I think it's partners regardless of what type of partner you have, right?
But what you mean as far as don't play any games?
As far as we going 50-50. She going 50-50 with her partner. With her girlfriend, she's going 50-50. She's not paying 100% of the rent. They're splitting down the middle. That type of thing. That's what I mean.
Is that consistent, Danny?
Because us women, how our aspects are. I'm wondering if it's the same on that level.
Danny, is that consistent? Oh shit. But to your point, I know who you talking about too, but she is from a newer generation as well, to where it's a little bit more fade away from those traditional roles, which she'll let to where the more dominant female in the relationship would be burdened with having the finances and to protect, answer the door at night and all of that good stuff. So
I
are you so
would
quiet,
wonder. I would
Laura?
also. I would kind of wonder, like, if there are two men in a relationship,
That's
which is
what.
a more dominant personalities. Like, if it's two women, I understand. Technically, that would be more two, maybe more passive women, and maybe one is slightly more dominant than the other. I get it. But in a men's relationship, is domination a thing?
I don't see how that
Like,
translates though, because majority of the men that we see in relationships be feminine niggas.
but somebody is dominant. Someone is dominant, so I'm just I'll find
Oh,
out on my own time. I'll ask some people on my
Yeah,
own
I see
time.
what you're
me
trying to
But
say.
I'm
But
wondering, like,
I
is there
think
too.
it'd be way more
domination?
prevalent than with women than men. I ain't gonna lie.
I've
Hold on,
okay.
both of y'all. Hold on.
You don't think
Because
so? I ain't
the,
no okay. Nigga. You don't.
back to the
I'm
conversation.
listening to you. You don't think so? Based off look, like the aggression of women. Like it's so many women exude aggression in so many different ways. You don't have to have pants and khakis and Timbs on to be an aggressive woman. Like it's a lot of assertive, aggressive balls. It's so many different titles and labels you can name it. But balls, assertive, sassy, attitude, angry. It's a lot of good ones and bad ones that you can put the name on it. But it's a lot of different type of women.
But that kind of goes back into the 50-50 part because regardless of what your sex is, are we going 50-50 for our spouse, our partner that we agreed to continue the song with? You know what I mean? So regardless of it, I move from woman or man. Listen, if I'm making more than you, can we kind of like split this a little 70-30 type thing? I don't know.
Now, when you split it 70-30, right? And this is for both ends. I'm just playing devil's advocate so y'all could expound. Carmen, you look like you had to say something. The com
No,
the
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
no, do your thing. The comment says Ron sleeping. Real okay. Maria. Go ahead, Carmen. Do your thing.
No, I said I'm waiting. Nigga,
Uh,
go
uh, uh,
ahead.
uh, uh. But with the 50-50 and the 70-30%, right? Are you saying because you have to give up something? The parent that pays more, if it's not 50-50, and it's a 80-20, 70-30, whatever we want to call it, both parents are giving up something. So I'm asking y'all for the ones that's on the other side of the 70. If you want him, or the 80, if you want him to pay more, are you willing to give up certain type of because some of us have children, I don't know, I want to ask everybody of certain ages. Uh are you willing to give up that certain type of respect when your children get to a certain age and finances become a thing? And then if you don't mind being like, say, a Halle Berry, do you mind no disrespect to her, I'm just saying, like, you the boss lady, you a boss, big mama, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you mind that doing that comes with you giving up a lot of love and nurture of your children, where they're gonna have those type of certain type of relationships and those secret those special bonds with the other parent, where you're gonna know like, hey, I'm paying for everything, but hey, I may not always get to know the inside jokes. I may not always know who's on the team or who's the cheerleader or who you dating at the time, or damn that you was pregnant because I'm paying all the bills. So how in the hell I'm gonna know when you get pregnant too? It's not really. It's a I'm asking y'all. I'm just trying to expound the situation because a lot of times with dads, we know a lot of dads be in those situations. So dads sometimes be late if they not in the household and then they not one on one with their children. They the last one to find out their daughter is pregnant. Sometimes they fuck around be the last one to find out their son got locked up. It just be depend on the relationship you have with your dad. I know you're looking like it's a real. I know a lot of it. It's a real thing. Niggas gonna call mama before they gonna call their father. But because in our culture, a lot of niggas grow up with their mothers. But this is just a setup for y'all to expound on. These are not my thoughts. I'm just talking shit, so we can listen to y'all.
No,
No, I just
respectfully.
want to point out Z when she was just throwing that bottle. Prime example, ma'am.
What do you
Well,
mean?
oh,
Oh, you was just making a bottle for your son or a drink?
Oh no,
Um,
I'm cooking. But yeah, I'm cooking right now. I don't got no babies right now. But yeah,
What
you
are
could
we
cook
willing to
me.
give up? I'm just saying, we willing for the man to pay everything.
Meek.
I'm not understanding why men have to give up respect in their own households because they paying the bills full time. Because if you are, this is how I feel, and this is me as a mom and being separated from their father. There's a level of communication that goes on between mother and father on account of the children. That role doesn't go away because you're not with the parent. Okay. So that role certainly is extremely important while you're actually inside of the household. If this man is out here working to get these bills paid, to keep you guys financially safe so that the mother is the steward on the father's behalf in that home, do you know how incredibly disrespectful it is for her not to communicate the goings and the comings of this household so that he can lead his family, so that he is aware of knowing what's going on? So if the father is gone because he's busy, because he's doing his work, as a woman, you have an obligation to let that man know what's going on inside of his home, y'all's home. I don't think that men should have to sacrifice bonding with their children for being a provider. For them being a provider, they should be rewarded with transparency as to what's going on inside of their home, because he should not be walking into his house and he doesn't know that his child is on the verge of being arrested. He should not be walking into his house and he doesn't know the cheerleaders' names. You're running your mouth all day. Why aren't you running your mouth to him about what he needs to know about these children that he's supporting? So as a woman, you're supposed to be, that's your job. That's part of your job. That's literally something that you need to be doing. Sacrifice your entertainment to make sure that this man is aware of what's going on. I don't understand why it's one or the other. If he can't get that respect in his home, then nobody deserves the provision that he's offering. They don't deserve it because they're not giving him respect.
Very, 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 very great point. I love that. But to expound even more, right? If the mother is there more present than the father, or if the father is there more present than the mother because the other spouse is the provider, meaning they have to get up every day and go out and make something shake, right? Most likely that spouse, just like you're saying, is going to get that information first, right? And I agree with you. That's whoever that person is should deliver that to the other parent, right? Right. Everybody, I think we all agree what she was saying. That was a beautiful, beautiful. But does that not? But does that not prove the fact that you're still, if you're the provider, getting the if you're still the provider, you're getting the information secondhand. So when you're willing to be the provider as women, is all I'm asking, are you willing to give up that secondhand knowledge? Are you willing to let the man understand first, get the information first and then you get it second? Because it ain't that I don't want to say that your partner isn't respecting you, but I think we all grew up with parents, even if we had one or two, whoever we was the closest with was the one who you shared that information with. That's not always the one that provided the most unless you was with a single parent, then you ain't had no choice. You had to put all in one. You know what I'm saying? But even if one was out the house and one was in the house, you didn't have to live through that. So I don't want to say that that's the disrespect on the spouse, because I'm trying to keep it on the relationship with the children, of knowing you're giving that up by wanting to be the provider. You know what I'm saying? And then in the second nature, when they get to a certain age, you're giving up a certain Santa Claus financial respect, uh, because what we know about, and I'll ask y'all, but what I know from experience, which I love to expound on y'all, a lot of people get older and they have less respect for the parent that didn't make the money. And we could say that's not true, but that's just a fact. It don't matter if that parent was the one giving them nurture, da da da. When it comes to you getting old and now you got to pay bills and you got to do finance, that's not the parent you really trying to listen to when they be like, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't do this job, da da da." And I've just heard that from a lot of different people in life, right? So when I ask y'all about the 50-50 situation, for those of us that don't want it to be 50-50, whether you want to be big mama or you want a big man, you know what I'm saying? Do you know which one you giving up? And can we expound on that? And if you're comfortable with that, if that makes sense. Bills just came. Hey, everybody say what it do to Bills. Bills, did you hear pretty much what we said of 50-50 relationships? Bills was here on this episode before when and whether you like 50, we'll let you get your cameo, whether you deal with 50-50 relationships and if it's acceptable or not.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last time, but I definitely go 50-50. I go 75-25. I go 25-75. I go 0-100. I go 100 and 0. It really just depends on what you're bringing to the table. If it's not always financial, there's other things, that make up for shit like that. So I kind of feel like it's just about where you are financially, what you need to be brought to the table type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just prefer to be equally yoked with a person. Um, I feel like that's what works best. In situations where I've been the breadwinner, I felt a certain level of masculinity. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the thing. Like you speaking on when it comes to respect, it kind of boils down to like the person who is doing the providing. I feel like it's the person that's like the head of the household. Um. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it could work both ways though. I've done all of them, and they've all been successful relationships to a certain degree. So.
Do you think, Charlie, if you ready?
Okay. I don't. Okay. Let me touch base on the 50-50 right quick. Um, my husband makes a little bit less than me, a little bit less, right? But he is able to be home with the kids. I don't got to send them to Charles County schools where they put the damn kids in trash cans. Okay. And I know where they are. He's learning. My daughter's learning. My son is learning. Like, they are learning in this atmosphere. And I want to think the home base is where I want to continue to grow. But let's backtrack real quick because you said that a 50-50 thing ain't the thing, right? However, if a person is able to, if my spouse is able to, if I'm able to, me as a mother, black mother, if I'm able to continue to make everything meet, I'm going to do it. If my husband is not able to and he can meet me somewhere in between, childcare, because childcare is 25 60 in Charles County. per week, ma'am. Per week for a child. I'm potty trained. My kids aren't potty trained. I'm sorry. They're not. But 25, 60 per week. I can't afford it. So if my husband can do it, I'm gonna let him. He works 3 days out of the week. He is a full-time employee, 12 hours every day. So it works for us. Whatever works for you guys works.
And everybody is in relationships, right? Y'all gonna make me have to put crickets on this part.
Oh no,
I
I'm in a complicated,
I am married for 4
in a
years.
complicated relationship.
Well, 4 years going on February. Married for 4 years.
Okay, we got marriage, we got complicated, we
If
got
I'm not married, I am a single.
okay, we got a single in the building. We got two undisclosed
Relationships.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
relationship, Z and Carmen.
I'm single.
he's single.
Two
Hmm.
singles, three singles. Okay. Three singles, one married, two relationships. Well, one married, one relationship, three singles, and a complication ship. That's fire.
Nah, I mean, what she said, that's kind of what I meant when I said 50-50 can work. And then it could be 75-25. It depends on what you bring to the table. I fully, feel like if he's able to be home with the kids, then he's contributing to our household. So it's a difference. Like you said, what work for you, work for you. It's kind of about your contributions, though, like to the household. His is more so, in the household, and that's a good thing. It's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But you got people that's going 75-25 with niggas who's doing nothing at home. You know what I'm saying? Who's not in the house, who's outside all day long, who on the block and selling the money because they ain't coming home with shit. You know what I'm
I
saying? So those are
know.
the ones that we referring to when we say that's not it. You know what I'm saying?
They selling the money.
Got to be, because you're not coming home with it. You're selling it on the streets. I didn't even know you could sell money like that. Thought
Tell you.
that was illegal.
So for the single ladies, 50-50 is in the future.
That sounds like slavery to me personally. And me paying 50% of his bills when I have made my life so that my bills are probably way less than yours, is actually you asking me to do more than you're doing. I actually am a reducer of bills. So to me, that sounds like you trying to pimp me, and I'm not here for that. But some people like pimping, and that's fine. And as long as I am not married, I'm a single. So even if you see me out somewhere, that man, if he's not my husband, who is he? He might as well be my cousin. I'm not allowing anybody's son to say I'm his girlfriend, scamming me, saving his money for his real wife. But that's fine. I mean, this is no disrespect to anyone. This is just my philosophy. You asked me earlier, what did I learn from dating lessons? My dating lessons that I learned was that he'll pay 50-50 with me, have me paying half his bills, then you go get married, and now she's living a soft life. I'm just saying no merci, no thank you. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So, in respect to these wonderful black men. That's also what I would like to say.
I like the way you think there. Yes. Hello. Someone in
Um,
the room.
I'm sorry. I couldn't even like segue. Come on, Carmen and Z. She say no bueno.
Yeah, 50-50 is a no good. Cause also I pay 100% of my stuff. So I just think about that too. That sounds crazy to include someone in my life and then go half with them and then what? I don't think that's saving because that's taking up space. Like I'm just thinking like I already need a bigger closet by myself, you know? So then I'm gonna have to share a closet, go 50% 50 on this, 50 on that, then 50% on the meals and stuff like I don't have time for a 50-50 nothing. Like I'm just breaking it down. I don't eat 50% of my dinner. I eat 100% of it. Like, I don't pay 50% of my grocery bill. I pay 100% of it. And I just love it like that. And I just think that I just would like to keep it like that while I'm a 100% single woman. And when I'm 100% not single, I will 100% not be doing what I'm doing now. But yeah, that's a no for me. I agree with me. She said it so wonderfully. Like, I didn't even really need to say anything. Like, I agree. We're not getting pimped.
I just feel like, I don't know, for me, I feel like 50-50 is saving money because it's like, I feel like when you meet a person, like I said, when you equally yoked in a 50-50, let me say that first, right? So you meet a person, I got my own, you got your own, everything. So we get to a point where we're like, we want to live together. Now we searching for a spot together. You know what I'm saying? So then when you go into that spot together, if I'm paying 1,800 now, right? He's paying 1,950, and we get a spot together. We paying 2,000. That means I'm only paying $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if the Pepco bill is 175, that mean I'm only paying 90. You know what I mean? So it's like for me 50-50, you are saving money if you're doing it right. I just don't feel like anybody should move in with anybody. I feel like when you go into a 50-50, you need to go into that situation together from having your own everything. You know?
Question. So like with this 50-50, that's what just don't ever click to me. Does everything is everything 50-50? Cuz like it's split down the line. Like I'm talking about like we just talking about finances, but everything else that goes along with it cuz we did talk about on the opposing factor someone being at home of it being a saving factor and all the non-financial duties that are taken up in a 50-50 relationship, those non-financial duties, are those 50-50%? Like, are those 50-50 too? Or are we just like, when it comes to these bills, it's 50-50. And then when it comes to this, I'm the boss of this. And da-da-da-da. And da-da-da. Like, how does that work? I'm curious.
Everything is 50-50. So I'm cooking, he cooking. Or I'm cooking, he cleaning up the kitchen when I'm done. You know what I'm saying? If I'm washing the clothes, he folding that shit and putting it away. You know what I'm saying? If I'm cleaning the bathroom,
I
he's
call
cleaning the
those
living room.
roommates.
You
I
know?
call those roommates.
She says it's
I'm
not a
sorry.
roommate when you sleeping together,
I
you
feel
in
like it's
love, you
roommates.
building
I
together,
went
and then
50-50 with my
that
brother.
extra
That's a roommate.
Yeah,
residual
I feel like
when
it's
you in
roommates
a
at
real
that point.
50-50 relationship, that extra residual that you are saving, you then can go into shit and do shit for yourself. You can invest into your business. You can do all of these things with the extra amounts of
Into
income
your
that you have
business.
from going 50-50. And you don't have to go into business with your partner. That's something you could do on your own with that extra money. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
So I
cut in
mean,
real quick because
and
I
then
do
it's
feel like
50-50
it.
on dates. I'm gonna take you out, you gonna take me out. We outside.
Yeah,
Everything
I understand the
50-50.
dating
Roommate
part
and a
of it.
friend to me. Like I can't see that as a relationship. Like I do that. I split the bill with my friends. Like we be splitting the bill, dividing it. Like when I'm at the table, girls, come on, be for real. We all go out, and if we all solid, we go and grab the calculator, divide by 7, and we splitting the bill. Your homegirl, her mama and her baby daddy tripping, or whoever tripping, she crashed at your place. She's responsible. She go half with you. Like I
Mhm.
really that's friends, that's roommate, that's not giving relationship to me. Like I like
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm trying to grasp that. Like it's so hard for me.
But no, I
But see,
get both
it's like
sides of it. Even Bliss part, where she's saying that the husband or the spouse or whatever, the partner needs to be able to, carry his weight, right? Y'all, y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but bear with me, okay? I think that if somebody bears more weight, it does not contradict what they're giving to you, right? If I'm saying, okay, I am a religious person, I am a Jesus praying person. Jesus was the Son of God. The Son of God was on a cross
and literally said to his father, Jesus, that forgive them not, for they know not what they do, and will still take on what punishment that he did, right? I am sorry at this point if we can't take people where they are, accept them for where they are in life, and you meet them halfway, that's not the person for you. You need to move on. You need to move on. Not the other person, but you need to move on because this is not for you, right? God is now, you are now saying, this is not for me. Let's move on. Jesus said, I'm going to go down the street to this little Nazareth where he got this nice made up hatch and stuff. I'm going to be birthed through Mary here. I'm for it. He walked how many miles, y'all? Like 35 miles to get to there? Come on. I mean, at this point, we just need to meet people where they are. No matter where our mindsets are. And as I touched, I threw the PlayStation 5 downstairs, right? I threw all his clothes out the window. I'm not a perfect sin. I'm a sinner. I drink. You were saying something, Bliss?
I missed the part.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm just saying, like, I
Actually, hold
just,
on.
we feel we can't be 50-50. No person is 50-50. No, God made us 50-50 because he took most of our sins. Most meaning more than 50%. Right? So here I am at 45%, and I can't get the rest. I can't get to 50. I can't get to 50. But I trust my husband to get us through to the 100%. I
I'm
trust
sorry,
my spouse to get us to the 100%.
I'm sorry, Charlie, but
I'm done.
the comments say not Jesus walk for 50-50. Yo, I'm so sorry.
No. But didn't he? But didn't he walk for 50-50? For us, for women, eventually he walked for 50-50. For the alphabet mafia, he walked for the 50-50, y'all.
Hey, that is hilarious, man.
My Lord, my Lord is
Oh,
gave his everlasting life, and I don't think for 50%. You know, he's asking us for 100% of our soul,
Let me tell you something.
submission and obedience to his word. And I'm just trying to follow his example, but giving 100%. Okay, that's all I want to do. I want to give 100%, Lord, to my lordship, to my leader. Yes, thank you. In his name, I'm going to listen and follow your word, Lord, 100%. I don't think the Lord wants us following 50% of his word.
so
So,
I
why
just want you to know how off topic.
I gotta be a voice of
I
the
want to
people.
say.
I gotta be a voice of the people. This is what the people saying right here.
I,
I was trying to give an example, y'all. I was trying to give an
your
example.
example went around the corner
It
up the
would left
street.
him.
It took two turns. It got in the car that got on the boat. The boat went across the ocean. And
Lord.
now we are in Antarctica. I
Oh,
just
so with the 50-50, it seemed like it's a lot of mixed feelings and a lot of mixed messages with the 50-50. And I don't think we have a general consensus on it. I think is everybody feel all type of different ways. I think it is good to note that 50-50 can include everything that upholds a relationship, whether the kids are involved or not, house duties, everything. So is that still at 50-50 still we not with that? I don't know. Z, you muted.
I was just agreeing. Everything has to be split. split down the middle, everything, just 50-50 down the middle. Because my thing is, and I will get petty about 50-50. That's the thing too, because I can't do 50-50 because I already know. I will be petty about it. Like, if you do something, I'm doing it too. If you said that's okay, it's okay for me too. If you get to stay out like that, I get to stay out like that too. Cause I'm telling
Okay,
you, I
what
can't get past relationship.
now you're gonna
I
make me
can't get
segue
past
into one
relationship.
thing before we close. Now I have to segue into one thing because this is relationships and this is a real thing. Y'all ladies know y'all been in relationships. Now, but you made me just think about what are the competitions in relationships because now it seems as if you creating that competition with your man, which a lot y'all it's a lot of successful women on this podcast. So I know like y'all have been in relationships when y'all man is kind of competing with your whatever word we like to use nowadays, clout, you know, your success, your entrepreneurship, your your love from the people, shit, sometimes your family orientation. You know what I'm
These
saying?
niggas just be wanting everything you got. And any nigga that wanna be you don't need to be your nigga. Alright? All of that shit is goofy. I feel like competitions are stupid. The only time you should be in competition with your partner is if y'all at fucking Top Golf or some shit like that. Other than that, my nigga, you competing for what? We are a team. I'm pushing you, you pushing me. I'm building you, you building me. And if you at any point feel like we in competition, I might just end up smacking the shit out you. And I don't want to have to do that. So we just gonna end it on a good note. I'm gonna say my farewells and my, toodaloos, motherfucker. You feel me? And yeah.
Can you expound on how you felt, Dozy, about how in the 50-50 you're gonna want to show your partner up and want to do what they do and match their energy?
Yeah, that was me speaking very low. I will not be caught in a situation like that. I don't know if you noticed. I just said out of there. For each his own. Like, there's people that will do it and there's people who won't. And I'm one of those who will not. So I won't be caught in those situations to even stoop to the level of being petty. But should I be stupid enough to put myself in that position, I could see myself doing that because of the fact I cannot see, like right now, when I'm thinking about it deeply, I cannot see someone I'm going 50-50 with being my partner. Like, I don't see that. Because also, I was taught tough love by a single mother. And she led the way by herself. She did a lot of stuff by herself. And when I wanted her to meet me a certain kind of way, just being my mom to help me, she made me do work to meet her where she was at. And then she could, commune with me. I never got a helping hand. So I just can't extend that to do a 50-50 and make it make sense. Like, I think that's crazy to me. It's crazy. I just can't grasp it, and I wouldn't be caught in that, so I wouldn't be doing that. So, yeah. Sorry.
And
Guess my
with my competitive situation to expound, I think you was trying to go meet to expound on that where sometimes competitive nature may come from when you hold your partner accountable of, hey, I've been washing the dishes too much, I want you to wash the dishes too. Hey, I done paid this electric bill 7 times,
stuff
I want
like
you to
that.
cut it off too. Or
Who
hey,
wants to
I've
have
been
conversations like that?
but do they not exist in relationships?
I feel
I
like
feel
only
like
in successful
at some
50-50
point it
relationships,
can
those type of
happen.
conversations don't happen. You feel me? Because everybody know what the fuck they owe and when it's due. So in a
Yeah.
successful 50-50 relationship, those types of conversations don't happen. It's all about being equally yoked with your partner and
And
what you
y'all
gonna
both
do.
agree.
Yeah.
Now
Even a
I
non-successful
just don't agree with it.
relationship, you, 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 as a man, you know what the hell needs to be paid in the house, right? You know what the kids need. You know if we out of bread, you know you need to make a grocery order because we out of bread, we out of something else, right? But again, for men, it does not hit until they're 40.
to order bread.
What type of men are you dealing with?
I mean,
I'm saying,
I'm gonna be 100. She might be
it
dealing
was
with
just an
me because I'm
example,
gonna be 100.
y'all. It was
I
just
never
an
ordered
example,
the
y'all.
bread in the history of my relationship.
It was
Nigga,
But see, that's what I'm
I
saying. You do other things. And that's another thing. It's
I
not
know
even
it
about
exists,
gender
but
roles. It's about partner roles. So if you know that you're a
real.
terrible grocery shopper, then maybe you let her do the grocery shopping.
hmm
Some niggas just literally go get the wrong fucking barbecue sauce all the time. If you
Okay,
see
so
you
but
some
even
sweet
at
baby
the grocery
rays
shopping
and you
with your
come in this
family,
motherfucker with some other shit, we gonna have a different conversation. So I just wanna go grocery shopping myself. You know what I mean? That don't mean you not doing your part because I'm sure you gave me some money. You know what I'm saying?
so even
So
with
it's
that
just
part,
like that you still did your part on that. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know because even with that part,
But
and I'm
straight five, I
I'm
bet when
only
it was time for that bread to get ordered, she ain't have to ask you for the money to get it, right?
I'm only speaking on what I know,
I'm
right?
talking to him. I'm talking about what he said.
I mean, nah, yeah,
No,
yeah. I know that the things that I can't fulfill, I have to try to show up for the things that she can't fulfill, no matter what it is. That's just how I look at relationships. But it's about you guys. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I just want to give a male perspective. Sometimes just to let y'all, So just to expound on it and to bring context to the conversation. So I asked earlier in the episode, and to be honest, I know I'm gonna have to edit the video, and I know y'all didn't answer, but I keep hearing people say, "What's good relationship, bad relationship, healthy?" What is a good? Can I, let me boil it down for each one of y'all. For the ones that's ducking on the mic, for every single body, give me 5 components of what a healthy, good, whatever we want to call it, relationship consists of.
Communication. All right. We're going to say it twice because that's the most important thing that you need for a successful relationship. Number three, love, affection, however you need to be loved, whatever your love language is, your partner learns that and they love you in that language. For growth, you have to be able to grow with your partner in your relationship, whether that's financially, whether that's emotionally, grow your relationship with God, grow your intentions, grow whatever the fuck you're growing. But you have to be on the same page about things. Um, and number five, sex. A lot of it.
I say put God first, communication. Y'all gotta want the same things, like the same goals. Um, love each other unconditionally and just be fair to each other.
God, communication, love, understanding, and respect.
Uh, Definitely God. Morals, values, respect. Morals and values, I put those together. That's two. Respect, communication, and then balance. Like, I don't believe in 50-50, but I believe in a balance and like help, like being that strong point where your partner is weak, being able to make up for that. So, balance. So, yeah.
The queens pretty much said all of what I was going to say. So I'm not even going to hold up the time anymore. But yeah, I would say whatever you honors, whether it be Allah, God, etc., or communication, respect, sex, a lot of it, because you don't want them out sucking and fucking somebody else. And honesty, trust, communication, God, and sex. So yeah.
Yes, so far I have willingness. Let's see, communication was on here. Having a forgiving and malleable heart. Am I up to three? I want respect and all sorts of honor in that situation. I want to be, I want to honor and I also offer honor. I want also to be prioritized. I want our family to be prioritized as, yeah, that's it. I think I did six.
That's a better understanding. Even though y'all said y'all didn't want to know who he learned them tricks from, I guess that ain't a part of communication, but I guess they got to communicate the right way,
Shit,
right?
I want to know. I'm taking her out.
Oh, yeah, Bill, you missed that one. They said they don't want to know where he learned them tricks from. Don't say her name. Don't mention her.
Tell me all about her, Stink. Tell me how she made you feel.
Hey, different
I
strokes
told
for
you,
different folks.
if you're gonna be dropping names, you might as well put her on the phone. I said that. So now you want me and her conversing. I got you. Say less.
Hey, I
Say
didn't know what
less.
put her on the phone meant though, to be honest with you.
Man, tell her pull up. I'm trying to see what that shit be like in real time. Ouch.
Thank you, ladies. Y'all definitely was immaculate with y'all stories, with y'all humor, with y'all experiences. Y'all definitely lit it up. I definitely appreciate all y'all sharing y'all truths. Thank everybody for tuning in. The comments was definitely very, very funny. Again, shout out Maria in the comments. Happy birthday, man. She definitely was lighting it up. What does a relationship look like to you? Who knows? Y'all drop it in the comments for us. I'm gonna drop down our Instagram, our YouTube, everything so y'all can follow us. And She Talks, we listen, so y'all can tune in each and every Thursday, 9 o'clock, man. We'll see y'all next week. I'm your host, Trey 5.